You're just moments away from a brand new episode of WTF Nations Radio's Pop Culture Warrior, hosted by the dynamic duo CQ and Radar. Pop Culture Warrior is your number one source for all things entertainment. If it's happening in TV, movies, video games, or comedy, they're all over it. And don't forget to say hi in the comments below. And while you're at it, let the boys know what you think and what you'd like to hear them talk about. Now strap in and get comfortable, because you're in for one hell of a ride. This is Pop Culture Warrior. Shots.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Welcome, one and all. Today is July 6, 2021. This is episode 63 of Pop Culture Warrior, the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. Whew. I'm CQ. I'm the Pop Culture Warrior. And with me, as always, is our very own star of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the man in the bubble, the voice of the unpop culture, Mr. Radar.
What's up, man?
Where are you at? Why did
Where am I at? I'm in right here.
Your bubble didn't pop. What the fuck? Wait,
Did you pop my bubble?
There it goes. It was super delayed. There's the bubble. There's the bubble. How you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, man. We missed you last week.
You know what? You guys missed me, I'm sure. Nobody missed me.
We missed you. Everybody was asking about, where's Radar this? Where's Radar that?
They thought that I was like, they were maybe concerned. They were like, well, here's what happened is the show was good. Where's Radar at? It's about time for him to come in and ruin this.
You obviously didn't watch the show because it was a shit sandwich to start off the show last week.
I gotta watch part of it.
Dude, the opening was a absolute shit sandwich. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Radar's voice is low. Oh, thank you guys.
Here, I'll move closer.
No, I got you. It's on my end. It's probably on my end.
All right.
Me and the buttons. You know me and the buttons. I see buttons, I like to press buttons. So, I got a new camera. Does anybody like notice a difference? I feel like I see a difference, but I'm curious if the audience sees a difference. If you guys are usuals or casuals or we don't have a name for like fans of the show, right? Like PC dubs. I don't know what the hell.
PC Warriors.
Yeah, PC. Yes, we're gonna have a bunch of PC Warriors running around. Scott says, "Who needs Radar when you're gonna have a call special guest for the first set?" That's true. We did open up the phone lines last week. And the first half of the show, it was just me answering calls, and we had a guy looking to buy a trailer in Newark. So yeah, that was a fun conversation. It was funny. Tyler, if you're out there, Tyler, love you. God bless you, son. Man, so much to cover today. So much to First of all, how was your 4th of July, man?
It was good. We still have all our hands
Nice.
here.
Nice.
So that's good. So this is what happened. I live in the Black Hills, and we have Devil's Tower, Mount Rushmore, and all those things here, right?
Sure.
And so my brother came to town and to visit. My parents are staying out here for the summer, and my brother came to town, so we got to go to Devil's Tower for 4th of July. So that's kind of cool.
Nice.
Except for it was fucking packed with tourists from everywhere.
Well, sure. Now that COVID's not a thing anymore, you know?
Yeah, well,
everybody comes out the woodwork.
It's never really a thing here. Well, maybe it was. We just didn't give a shit. South Dakota was like, fuck it. No,
Right.
we're not down. So, yeah, cause aliens. I didn't see any, but I haven't pooped right since I got back.
That's a whole unrelated thing. I will tell you that my 4th of July was spectacular. First of all, we lit off so many explosions. It was phenomenal. There was an incident where we went to go shoot off, our fireworks. Big open area. A lot of people from around the neighborhood show up and do their thing. So we went off, did our own, to our own corner. I gathered the wife and the kids and all the peoples, and far enough away, right? Safety first, like nice fair distance. Some of the other people did not follow a lot of good safety guidelines. And so at one point, one of those big shooter things fell over and shot into the audience. That was not cool. But then later, when we forced them to come back to where we were, I was setting up one, this big box of shoots off 100 and something shots. I was setting it up, and I just hear from maybe 20 feet away, I just hear, oh shit! And I look over, and I see them light this box, and it falls over, and it's pointed right at me.
Oh no.
And I had all of a split second, the first shot whizzes past me, and then I go to kind of get out of the path. The second one comes right at me. I saw this whole thing in slow motion. It's like getting shot all over again. I see this thing in slow motion coming at me, and I'm trying to matrix my way from getting hit. And I shit you not, it was headed right to my balls. It was just, you could see it was a straight shot. So I kind of shifted and dodged as fast as I could, and I took one to the inner thigh.
Oh no.
I took a full-on rocket from about 20-25 feet. And all the hitting at me was just it was just more of a stun than anything. But my immediate reaction was oh my god, this is gonna explode. And so because it got stuck in my shorts. I have a burn mark in my shorts. So slapped it away and just combat dive rolled out of the way. Because I was if this thing's gonna blow, the best thing I could do is probably lay down. So I took 3 big steps and died. Luckily, for whatever reason, it didn't explode. I guess it was just more one of those loud, shooty, sparkly ones. Because other ones that went off exploded, but for whatever reason, that one that hit me didn't explode. So lucky me. I do have a puncture wound from where it hit me. It penetrated the skin. I was penetrated by a firework. And then a big old bruise, but I'm okay. I would show you, but it's in my inner thigh.
I believe you.
And it's not, I don't want to get zucked on it, but yeah. So definitely did not feel good, but I'm okay. I'm curious. Anybody else get blown up or anything this 4th of July? Let us know.
I work with did kinda.
Yeah.
He I guess they were shooting off fireworks at his grandma's house. And same kind of deal. Yeah, put it in reverse, Terry. That's right, Tyler. 100%. But he fucking was same kind of deal happened. He's one of those, I don't know, I think he said his was a 5-shot one or whatever.
Yeah.
And it went over, and one went underneath his car and blew up.
Holy shit.
And then one landed in the garage. The garage door opened and went in the garage and blew up. And another one caught his yard on fire and shit.
Oh,
I'm
God.
oh,
Jesus Christ. That's why you don't do it by her. You get some distance, man. Yeah, Scott has a great idea. I got to keep that image for the OnlyFans. Good call, Scott. You're gonna be my manager from now on. You're gonna be my social media manager. I'll tell you what. I got a Patreon out there. Shout out patreon.com/popculturewarrior. I'm gonna post the image of a safe. I'm gonna crop out and post the image of what my big old bruise looks like on the Patreon page. So if you want to see that, there you go. You can find it on there. So lots to cover, dude. And before one more house cleaning thing. Right. Obviously we've got Sarah Minnich coming on later on. It's gonna be a fantastic conversation, awesome interview. Super psyched to talk to her. But as you all know, or those that have stuck around for a while, been around for a minute, last year, let's see if I can get this, we won the 2020 Podcast Award. Well, we were nominated. I shouldn't say we won. We got nominated. We ended up as one of the 10 nominees for the entertainment category of the Podcast Awards. 2020 nominee. You know, the winner is a much bigger one. So one, yeah, we're in the top 10, you know, of the entertainment podcast. Voting is now open. We need your help to make sure we're nominated. Once again, we make the top 10 and maybe even have a chance to win. I would forever be indebted to you. Thank you guys. You guys are the reason we got nominated last year, and I hope that you guys find in your heart to nominate us again for this year. Real quick, I'm gonna give you guys a quick look at like how to do this. Let's see if I can get this to work. Hey, there it is. It's working. All right, so just for future reference, podcastawards.com. We'll have somebody drop that in the chats so you can find the link. Podcastawards.com. It'll take you to this page. All right, 16th Annual People's Choice Podcast Awards. You have to click here. Click here to vote. Voting is only open until July 31st. So you click on the blue box. It's going to take you here. Now, it's going to ask you your name, first and last, email. Please give it a good email, and here's the reason why. You're going to fill out all this stuff. They tell you they do not share your information, and they delete it once the competition's over, so they won't even keep it. Make sure you click this box. It says, please consider me as one of the listeners that will randomly be selected to vote. Why this is important, and I think why we didn't win last year. If you vote, it gets us into the top 10. We're in the nomination. People that have voted will be randomly selected if they check this box to vote us into the final, into the actual winning of the podcast award. So if you don't check this box, you know, your vote goes to getting us nominated, but it won't go to end up getting us the win. So fill all that out. If you're just a listener, if you're both, great. You hit the sign up, which I already did, so I'm gonna show you. So once you hit sign up, it's gonna look like this. You get here. Now, this can be confusing. Apologize. If you scroll down, we are in the, where are you? There it is. It's a dumb name, but it's Rob Has a Podcast Entertainment category. It's named after one of the guys that won a bunch of times. So you click. You can't see my scroll bar, but it gives you a scroll option. You're going to find where we are. Pop Culture Warrior. There it is. So we're in the entertainment category. And then also, you know, People's Choice Award. That's everybody's in there. So it's going to take a minute to find it. It's way, way, way down there. Pop Culture Award. There we go. All right. So that's our show. We're in the People's Choice and Entertainment. And if you're feeling extra awesome and you love WTF Nation Radio, this year we all hey, can somebody put the link in the in the chats, because I had people asking for it.
I'm gonna stop you for a minute.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, I'm looking, and I told you I have both screens up.
Yeah.
The radio page, just from what I see, is very, very blurry. You cannot make out. Nothing is discernible on that. The main page is great.
All right.
The main page is crystal clear.
Okay.
So I don't know why that would be, but I don't know. I don't have like YouTube or any of the other things pulled up, so it may be.
Gotcha. All right. So thank you, Kaz. He threw it up there too. So our other show, Sergeant's Time. You guys know Sergeant's Time on Thursdays. If you go to politics and news category, you will find Sergeant's Time. There it is. Oh, thank you. Bry. Hey, Bry, what's up? we're not doing that shit all over again. Hey, Bry. So that's our show, Pop Culture Warrior and Sergeant's Time. I do have a good friend, a friend of the show. She is listed under, let's see, where is she at? My God, this is so entertaining. I know. Sorry, guys. Where is it? Moments of Clarity. There it is. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. For Best Female, I believe it's Health and Education. She's a clinical psychologist, and she does a really great program on all types of mental health issues and mental.
She was on the show, right?
She was way back when, and
like way back in the day.
Yeah, and I've been on her show. She's a great person. I'm voting for her. So literally, you don't have to you don't even have to do all the categories. You hit the ones you want, you hit save, and boom, you're done. It's literally like a 3-minute process without me talking you through it. Now,
I have a question though.
Yes,
I'm gonna send this out there.
What's up?
We are competing against Sergeant's Time?
No, we are in a separate category. We are in the entertainment category, and Sergeant's Time is in politics and news. Am I lobbying for others? No. I'm just throwing out an option of a friend. If you're already in there, we're not in the same categories.
Yep.
So
and like I said, she was on the show. Yeah, great. She was great guest to have on.
Great
it
guest.
Was about a year ago, right?
Something like that. Yeah, might have been a little longer than a year ago. But she's had me on her show. She's phenomenal. She's awesome, and she's telling her listeners to vote for us. So I figured the least I could do is throw her the same courtesy. It's just, it's how we do, man. We look out for each other. So
yeah, absolutely. And if if you and other things too, like hey, if you listen to a podcast. And you're like, these guys are awesome. They need to, and they're not competing against us. I'll give them a listen.
Yeah.
I'll tell a story again. That's how I got involved with this whole thing. Right. Is I started listening to the podcast, and that I think pretty sure it was Flash was like, hey, if you want to be on here, give us I was all drunk one night. I'm like, I can do that. And so I said, and here I am. So, I mean, it was not against you can branch out a little bit, hang out with other podcasts. We're not gonna hate on you. If you have someone else that's good, let us know. Let us know.
If you recommend, if you see a podcast on that list and it's somebody you recommend and somebody you recognize, give us a shout, man.
Yeah, I'll give them a listen. I'm not a one podcast person. I listen to us, and I listen to the Nard Couch. Those guys are funny. They're it's a mountain bike podcast, and who else? I think other ones
William is saying that his email is bad. I noticed. I did because I voted. I know a couple people that have voted. One person who had a Hotmail account. For some reason, it wasn't letting them register, get through the thing. So I don't know if that's a thing or not. I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm super hopeful. I feel like since when we did that, we were such a small little thing, and we've tripled since then. And you guys are awesome. We're at 780 followers just on Pop Culture Warriors page alone. Which, by the way,
I think this time last year wasn't 100. We had
it was 180, I think. Yeah, something really small.
And this is you guys. I mean, like I said, we do this for you guys. So, and the more people you get to hang out with us, absolutely.
Yeah. I see your comment too, Jim.
CQ's ultimate goal is to get a better looking co-host. So
I've been lobbying since the beginning for that, man. We're short supply, I tell you. I will say that Jim says he's got a podcast he might like. Hey, shoot me a message, man. Shoot me a message to the page, the Pop Culture War page, or the radio page, and let us know. We'll check it out. But all right, enough of that. Enough. Patting ourselves on the back and self-congratulations and all this and all that. That's not what we're here for. Mr. Radar, I'm curious. Yes. It's been 2 weeks since we last spoke.
What
do you think about Loki?
I'm interested. I'm really intrigued by it. Okay, it's been like
spoilers.
We're
the
not
new episode's tonight, so spoilers.
If you aren't going to watch it, then you haven't by now.
Yeah.
If you're going, you would have.
Right.
So we know the timekeepers are fake.
Right.
Ish.
These timekeepers, anyway.
There has to be someone is in
Somebody's
charge.
doing something.
Right. I think it's mutants.
It's got to be Mephisto. It's got to be Mephisto. I'm calling my shot.
I have a different idea. And one of the guys at work and I were talking about this. What if it's another Loki?
It's possible.
Because it seems, and here's the reasoning behind it. And he had a good theory behind this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All of the other, it appears anyway, at least in the show, that the variants that they really are interested in are Lokis.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, the other variants become part of the TVA. Right? Except for Loki's. Why is that? You know
Except
what I mean?
For, the one Loki that we know for sure. Why?
In the post-credit scenes, we see at least, 3 or 4 other versions of Loki.
And we know there's more. There's got to be more, too.
Yeah. So his theory was that the Loki that somehow won, because Loki's kind of known for losing.
The Lokiest Loki.
The Lokiest Loki is somehow in charge, right? And is trying to keep all of the other variants basically like out of his fucking way, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a far out there, and it's probably not. I mean, let's be honest.
It's possible. I think that the leading theory is that Kang the Conqueror has something to do with it. He's kind of the time guy. He's the big bad.
And we know that Kang the Conqueror is already cast.
Yep.
In Spider-Man, right?
No, that he's going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 called Quantum Mania.
Yep. So we know that character is already cast, and we may not actually see a whole lot of it in this. But isn't there somewhat? I heard rumor that there's already a season 2 of Loki that has been confirmed by Disney.
I don't know, man. The only we know for sure, there won't be another WandaVision. No. That's for sure. Yeah. The rest of it is still question mark, based on what we have currently. But yeah, no, I'm digging the show. I'm liking it. 2 episodes left. 1 after tonight. And I love what they're doing. I'm digging it.
Are we going to get to see Mobius on a jet ski?
I feel like if they don't, we've all failed. We've all failed. If that's the case. Scott says, so could all the variants be different multiverse Lokis, and this Loki is wanting to be the one Loki to rule them all? I definitely think that's the case. And I think where they land, or where he lands specifically, given that we know there's a bunch of Lokis, and from the trailers we've seen a guy with like the President Loki vibe, that is something a Loki would do. So that somebody's running the show here, which is why I don't think it's a Loki at the TVA. But yeah, all these shows have been self-contained, but with a this is where we're going to go after this, right? WandaVision was self-contained, but it left us doors.
Well, and a couple things they've done with each of these shows now, right? They've given a backdrop to these characters, right? Instead of how the Scarlet Witch is getting her full-length feature film finally, right? This is kind of his full-length feature film.
Right.
It's just a TV show. It's a series.
Yeah.
So you're getting some backstory into Loki. You're getting you're getting to know him as a character. They're building him as a character, and kind of the story that surrounds him. They did the same with Wanda. They did the same with both the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the Winter. They gave Bucky got quite a bit of time, and they gave some kind of some work into Bucky that they hadn't in the past. So they're doing this to kind of build the characters up and put them on a new arc, or adjust the arc that they're on, right? The post Endgame situation, the post blip, or whatever. And they're used to introduce some new characters and all of these things. And so could this, this is kind of the King the Conqueror, whatever.
Yeah.
Thought process. They're either going to introduce him now or the multiverse now, and
it's gonna whatever ends here is going to have a ripple effect moving forward. We know that in Spider-Man, we know that in Doctor Strange 2. So there's a lot. There's a lot, and it's gonna reach all the way out to like Ant-Man 3 when we know King the Conqueror is gonna be involved because time. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm almost at the point where I don't want to speculate, and I just want to sit back and enjoy it. So, all right, got that out of our system.
Okay, we got that out of our system. So we have 2 more episodes left for that, and then we'll worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about, William? Let's talk about what's going on with the world fucking the bench with the drug addiction. What's going on with that?
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Hey, William C. White, send a link to that.
Yeah.
So we can, if there's a link on it, then we'll talk about it.
For sure.
Sorry that I don't live in Trent, New Jersey, dude. I don't know if it's a.
Yeah. We don't know everything about everything.
Right.
Speaking of which,
I would love to hear. I love hearing new things. I love talking about drug addiction. So,
sorry, I'm gonna do a TV. There you are. Hey, buddy. So couple things before we get to the guests. We're running out of time. I want to make sure we get to this. If you guys caught Lovecraft Country on HBO, which I thought was an excellent series that tackled some serious stuff, and it was great to play off of the sci-fi horror elements with racial injustice and all these things with the backdrop of that time. Great show if you didn't see it. Unfortunately, it was announced there will be no season 2. Apparently, the HBO gave the showrunners a chance to kind of pitch where they wanted the show to go if there was a season 2. They did some writing, they did some storyboarding, and just HBO wasn't interested. So it's unfortunate because I thought giving them a season 2 would be good. The creator of the show, I believe it's Misha Green, was giving out teases of what the show, now that it's been fully canceled, what the show could be. I said, and really HBO was hopeful that the show would continue, but yada yada yada. So since news broke, the show's creator Misha Green has been sharing information about her plans for what would have been the second season. She called it The Next Generation, season 2 of Lovecraft Country. It begins in a new world, and that new world is a country that sits precisely where the United States used to sit, which is, they call it Welcome to the Sovereign States of America, and it was kind of split, kind of like post-Civil War, but there was just a little bit different. And she goes, just to clarify, there would be zombies involved. there would be like a bunch of different things that brought more horror elements and different things. And so it's disappointing because what they did with the first season, giving them more, I don't know, creative time, and I don't know. I just think the second season could have been really cool. They could have really stepped it up to some more exciting stuff. So that's disappointing. Scott says, you know what looks good? Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. It does, man. It really does. And that's the Netflix. Yes, that's the Netflix show. Because unfortunately, Resident Evil has 3 different properties that are being worked on at the same time. Yeah. There's a movie, there's a Netflix series, and there's an anime, I believe. Not to mention all the games and stuff. But like the movie is called Welcome to Raccoon City, or Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I believe it's the Netflix anime. Yes, the Netflix animated one. That's right. That's Infinite Darkness. And then there is a Netflix live action one. I might. Nah, I can't tease that. But stay tuned for the fall. There's good things on the horizon. That's all I can say. So, I got some news. Speaking of, pop culture stuff, everybody knows Halo, one of the greatest Xbox games of all time. Halo has been in the works, since we're talking about TV news. Halo has been in the works as a TV series for a long time. It was going to be a movie, then it was going to be a TV show, then it was going to be a movie again, then it was back to a TV show, then it was going to be a streaming show, then it was going to be a live show. But it's gone back and forth. So the latest was that the series would be on Showtime. Well, that just changed. So the series will not be on Showtime. The Halo TV series will be on Paramount Plus. It'll be a streaming show on Paramount Plus. Not only that, the original series showrunner left the series midway through production. Another guy stepped into his place to take over and run the show. And now he said, I'll stick around till it's over. So the first season's over, then I'm out. So I don't know what the hell is going on about this Halo series, but there's some things happening. Because once production is finished for the anticipated season 1, the lead showrunner, Stephen Kane, is set to depart from the show. He's remaining attached to the project, which is currently filming in Budapest. But should the series go to a season 2, he's already said he wants to return stateside for personal reasons. So, I don't know. I don't know who's going to take over that series, if it should go. Although, I did want to share, I don't know if you know this, Radar, or if the audience know this. Do you guys know who's playing Master Chief in Halo, the series?
Ice.
Ice?
No, not Ice.
Like Ice-T, Ice Cube? Or you mean our Ice, station manager Ice? No,
Ice.
that'd be incorrect. It is not going to be Ice. That would be funny if Ice was doing it, but let's see if I have let's play a game. I have a picture I'm gonna post. There you go. Can anybody figure out who that is behind the mask? Which that is the actual Halo bottom part of the mask for the TV show. If you ever watched Time's Up. If you ever watched Prison Orange is the New Black. He is the guy that played Pornstache on Pornstache on not Nick Jonas, guys. The haircut does kind of give that allude to that, but no, the guy that played Pornstache on Orange is the New Black, his name is Pablo Schreiber. Yes, Scott wins the prize. He got it. Pornstache. So the Halo series is primed to follow much of the lore of the original game. The game follows Master Chief, Petty Officer John 117, a super soldier created for the Spartan 2 program, who will be played by Pablo Schreiber. Which follows is an epic 26th century conflict between humanity and an alien threat known as the Covenant. So, you got Californication's Natasha McKellen, who co-star as the creator of the Spartan super soldiers, Dr. Halsey. Jen Taylor reprising her iconic role as Cortana. So the original Cortana will be Cortana. Currently in post-production. Expect Halo, the TV series, on Paramount Plus, unless they change it again, sometime in 2022. So there you go. Halo 2022. Big Halo guy, man? Big Halo guy?
No, I fucking hate Halo. I do. I think it was one of the worst fucking games to ever come out. I really, really do. I'm sorry. Like, everyone's like, I fucking Halo. I fucking hated it, dude. I could not fucking...
That's okay.
No, dude, because that...
Not for everybody. Not for everybody.
Not, okay, I'll even say it's kind of like, to me, it's all like Fortnite. It was really cartoony and dumb. Especially, that's when Call of Duty was good. You know what I mean? And it was kind of like that go back and forth between Call of Duty or fucking... I just couldn't, man.
I will respectfully disagree on that point. Yeah. But moving on, we got a bunch more stories.
You finally did take the bait. I didn't like the gameplay, but the story. Kinda. I mean, I don't know. My fucking kid, fucking Private Radar, he was all about it, man. He knew like the whole fucking story about all of it.
Sure. It's a young man's game, man. Young man's game.
Yeah.
This would be fun if you for those of you guys that were fans of the Smallville hit TV series, the one with Tom Welling and
Can we talk about anything that I give a shit about? That's fucking Smallville.
I can't talk about fucking Tiger King the whole 2 hours, guy.
Something. Fucking Smallville was dumb too.
Well, I'm sorry, man. It's in the genre.
Okay, but seriously, like I'm gonna throw this out there, dude.
Okay.
Did you watch Smallville and like it?
I did.
You did.
I did.
It was one of my favorites.
Was it the greatest TV on? No.
Was it? I'm not even gonna say was it good. Was it good TV for the time?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Now, once it got to the later seasons, it started to stretch and the plot lines. And
the first season maybe was okay if nothing else was on. Right? I mean, and then by the end of it, it was like it was really far out there.
It was rough towards the end, but I really did enjoy the show. Now, for those that did enjoy, do you mind if I continue the story?
I guess.
I can turn your bubble off. I can turn your bubble off.
No, that's whatever. Fucking, like, I wish fucking Radar would come back, and then he's come back and like, no, fucking Smallville sucks, and then I get fucking canceled. Like,
so, for those that were fans or are fans of the Smallville TV show, there's a glimmer of hope that it might kind of come back. Not the way you would think, but Tom Welling, who played Clark Kent Superman, recently did a one of those cameo shout-outs, and in the back end of it, he kind of dropped some knowledge. He basically said that he's currently working with Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in the series, and that they're developing a project to bring Smallville back as an animated series. And they're going to try, and I have here like what that could look like, the Smallville animated series. And they're hoping to get as many of the original cast members from the show involved, but there's really no other news other than this is something that they're working to put together. So again, for people that might be into that stuff, I can see I'm losing Radar fast. I gotta switch. So
no, you're fine, dude. You're fine. I just they shouldn't have any problem getting the cast to come back. That was like the only fucking thing they were in.
I mean, Kristen Kirk, got somewhat famous. Yeah, Tom Welling didn't really do anything. Rosenbaum kind of did a couple comedy movies, and I think he had a show called Impastor, something like that, where he pretended to be like he was a asshole pretending to be a pastor or something like that. Like Impastor. Anyway. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of them didn't have the careers.
Which is, I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. But okay, this is turning into one of the things that I really, really don't like. And I know that you actually kind of do like those, like the animated shows that I think this is okay. I'm gonna go off on a tangent.
Oh boy,
a little bit.
You got Radar 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes.
Radar. Here's what they need to do over there at fucking all those DC bullshits. They need to figure their shit out and not have fucking 300 fucking branches going every fucking direction. They need to fucking centralize their shit and make something good and coherent for people like me to follow. Right? Like they just like, oh, we're just gonna have this fucking. We're gonna have this.
I can't argue that.
And so it becomes very diluted and shitty and bullshit, and everyone's like they're just like throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. And I just can't follow it. I can't get even behind the idea. Like it just sounds ridiculous, right?
I get you. I get where you're coming from.
So they're like,
get where you're coming from.
Now we'll make an animated series. Well, why? Like the first season, I'll even say okay, we'll even go two seasons were good, right? And that's a stretch. In Radar's mind, that's a stretch. Okay. How many other seasons were there? Like 4, right? Wasn't there 6 total seasons?
I think it was like 8 or 9.
Okay, so we'll say 8. We'll round it to 8.
Sure.
Okay. So that's still 6 crap seasons. Okay. Now they're like, wait a minute. We had fucking 2 good, 6 crap. Let's double down, make it animated, and see if what are they going to do now?
Dude, nostalgia sells right now. You got to know, nostalgia sells. Think about how many things are being rebooted.
It does to an extent. Okay, the stuff that was good, right? And then, but we still, as discerning adults, okay, we have a pedestal that we put these things on, right? They have to exceed our expectations in order for us to call it good.
Right.
Okay. For us to engage in it and want to spend our money to do this, right? And just because it's nostalgic, okay, look at Ghostbusters. Okay. The original Ghostbusters, and even say Ghostbusters 2, which was kind of bullshit, still has some cult following a little bit, right?
Sure.
Then they come out with the one they came out with, which was garbage.
Sure.
Right? And then people are like, that's fucking garbage. You just can't take something that was mildly good or even really good and then do a shit way of making it. And then they're like, well, this is yours now. No, fucking make it good.
Well, I'll tell you what. But the next 3 stories, I think, are stories that you can get behind. Can we get through them?
Are they good? Are they good?
I believe you can get behind them.
All right, then. I'm going to give you a shot.
Okay. But I believe we can get. Jim Handy wants to know when are they going to get the reboot of Cool Runnings? That's funny. Man. I'll give you that one.
Talk about pop culture. I watched Independence Day on Saturday.
Yes.
I watched the original.
So did I.
Right? It was on. I think it was Prime.
Come on, man. I almost posted the clip of the speech. Today we fight for our independence. Oh man, I love that speech. So good.
Yeah, July 4th is we celebrate Will Smith saving us from aliens.
That's right. All right. So last 3 stories. Let's get through these. She-Hulk is a show coming to Disney Plus. Just bear with me. She-Hulk is a show coming to Disney Plus. We know Tatiana Maslany is playing the titular role. They just announced that the popular Marvel villain Titania. I can't pronounce it, dude. It's Titan with an IA, so that's what? Titania? Tantiana? Titiana. I don't know. Something with those words. They announced who is going to be playing that titular character. I got a picture for you. And it's someone I actually kind of love. Jamila Jamil will be playing the role of Titania. Titania. Right? I don't know, man. I wasn't a big She-Hulk follower, so I don't know how that's pronounced. I apologize. But it's also going to bring back Mark Ruffalo as Hulk and Bruce Banner. It's going to bring in Tim Roth's Abomination, which we saw in the trailer for Shang-Chi. If you're paying attention, we talked about that last week.
We did.
You know, we did. Yeah, I did. You didn't. I did. But again, Jamila Jamil as something with a T, and we'll figure it out when she gets the role. Yeah.
Danny, Derek Zoolander reading.
All right, I'll give you that one. You win a sticker. You dick. All right. So for real though. Here's a story I think you can get behind. You had to have been a fan of Galaxy Quest. Do you remember Galaxy Quest, the 1990 movie starring Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Sam Rockwell, Alan Rickman? Great movie. You remember Galaxy Quest? I mean, it was a parody while also being a love letter to all of the things of like Star Trek and those space exploration shows. Phenomenal movie. Now, for many years, they had talked about doing a sequel. And then obviously, unfortunately, Alan Rickman passed away. So, and the sequel was supposed to be mostly about his character. And so that kind of, it lost all traction as far as getting a sequel. the reason I'm bringing this up is Simon Pegg. Everybody should know Simon Pegg. He's, Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, and also in the new Star Trek movies as Scotty.
Yes.
He is working to reboot Galaxy Quest as a TV show.
That could work.
I do believe it could work. I think it could work. Kaz, yeah, Space Force season 2. Yeah, they're shooting it right now. That's the latest. They're currently shooting Space Force season 2. So that's in the works. As soon as I get a date, I'll make sure I share it with you guys. But yeah, so it's been what? 22? Can it be 22 years? Oh my God, since
Jesus Christ.
Probably. Holy shit, it's been 22 years since Galaxy Quest?
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh.
We're getting old, dude.
Oh my God. That made me feel dirty. Anyway, Simon Pegg is working to relaunch the show, bring it back as a TV show. Now, whether it be Galaxy Quest, the TV show, parody of the TV show, whether it be the sequel follow-up TV show, like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be a TV show based on the characters of the show Galaxy Quest, not necessarily the actors of Galaxy Quest, like the movie was. So I don't know. I don't know. But either way, it's going to be good. I had another note here. Anyway, so yeah, so I mean, come on, that you could get behind, right? Galaxy Quest.
I can, yes.
I mean, and brought to you by Simon Pegg.
The shit you just She-Hulk, I'm not against.
I think it'll be good.
Galaxy Quest, I'm okay with. That's but She-Hulk. The thing that I was worried about was bringing in Mark Ruffalo, and he seems to be on board for it. So
he's on board. He's gonna be. I mean, he's gonna have a small part of it, but he's gonna be in it.
But I want to say, I think they need to do that a little bit. Like, they don't want you don't want, now that we're kind of evolving the MCU into new things, you can't have the old characters be the center of the movie anymore.
Right.
They have to
shift
away. Yeah. So that's fine if he's small, but just as long as it's part of it.
Right. Exactly. So, and I love the idea of Galaxy Quest coming back. Danny says Galaxy Quest would be great with Seth MacFarlane. Well, maybe they do. And William, you bring a great point. William says they need to bring back He-Man. Well, guess what?
Oh, no.
They are. Segue. They are bringing back He-Man. And I will share with you the first trailer reveal of the new Masters of the Universe Revelation, an animated series that picks up where the original series left off. So check this out, and then we're going to talk about it. But really, check this out, guys. You're gonna this is awesome. Check it out. So there you go, part 1 of Masters of the Universe Revelation. It's coming out July 23rd. Mr. Radar, do you need a hero?
I can't.
Come on, that looks awesome. What are you talking about?
It does. But what comes to mind when you see those characters? Have you not seen the Hey Ya video for that?
No, I don't think I have.
The Four Non Blondes song?
I don't know. You have to send me that later. I want to check that out.
I'll send it to you, because every time I see that,
I think it looks good. It's being brought to you by Kevin Smith, so the writing is going to be dense as with Kevin Smith.
It's just like my mental. Okay, kind of like this is.
Come on, words, man.
Remember when the live action Aladdin came out?
Sure.
And I was all fucking butthurt because it wasn't
Robin Williams.
It was Wilson.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Williams. Once you see this video, you can't unsee it. Okay. And once you see it, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, man." Really?
All right.
And I'll send it to you.
Send it to me.
Kevin Smith is fucking good at this shit.
The guy knows what he's doing.
I will watch it. And
he grew up adoring this shit, so putting his spin on it, I think it's gonna be great. And someone else mentioned in the comics, Voltron's coming back, Thundercats is coming back, all with gritty graphics and storylines and whatever. Kevin Smith said this about the project: narratively, our show is set up as the next episode right after the legacy of the 80s animated series that aired only from 1983 to 1985. He said, this is a continuation of that story. We're playing with the original mythology and characters, revisiting and digging deeper into some of the unresolved storylines. But even if you've never watched a single episode of the show or don't know the universe at all, you can jump right into the story. It's a really classic, universal, action-adventure epic about growth, discovery, magic, and power. The series explores destiny in a fresh way. There's a lot of reconciling with secrets, betrayal, trust, acceptance, love, and ultimately loss. So yeah, I like he's been talking, like if you follow his feeds, he's been talking nonstop about it. And so he's very excited about it. He's very hyped for it. And they got Mark Hamill, the great Mark Hamill, to play the Joker.
God, he does some great voiceover.
He does great voice work. I want to have him on the show one day and just pick his brain to pieces. But he's playing what's his nuts? Skeletor. Jesus, I couldn't think of the word. Skeletor. And you can just hear it with that laugh. Oh my God, I love Mark Hamill.
Yeah, he's so good at this.
He knows what he's doing. The guy knows what he's doing.
He's a pro.
He's been around the block.
He really is a pro.
Been around the block. He knows what he's doing. So yeah, did a small bit about He-Man. And apparently, well, who is let's see. Somebody just mentioned. I thought they did a Thundercat reboot. Yeah, I don't know about the original one, but somebody just mentioned an SNL. Oh, there it is. Hey, Bri. SNL Masters of the Universe. I'm assuming that's a skit that they did on Saturday Night Live. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't recall that one. But yeah. So and Danny, to answer your question, as long as it's better than the Thundercats from 2011, this Thundercats remake is going to be directed by the guy that just directed Godzilla vs. Kong. Or Kong versus Godzilla, however you say that. So the same director that did that is bringing in the new version of Thundercats. So if you like that movie, awesome. If you didn't like that movie, maybe you're not gonna like it. I don't know what to tell you. All right, folks, we are nearing the top of the hour, so I'm gonna do something a little different. Usually we toss it to break, we come back, we got a guest. We're gonna do similar. But before I toss it to break, I have a demo reel of our guest, so that way you get to see a little bit of her in action before we go to the interview. So I'm gonna play a demo reel about 5 minutes long of our upcoming guest, Sarah Minnich. Oh my God, I had it down and I just lost it. Minnick, Sarah Minnich. You guys know I'm terrible with names. Like, that's my weakness.
Yeah.
God bless me. God bless my heart. That's my weakness, is words and names.
The whole word thing.
Great for a talk show host.
You don't have a side gig.
Yeah, good thing I'm not a talk show host or anything. So I'm gonna show you a quick demo of Sarah Minnich, and God damn it, words. And then we'll go to do a short break, and when we get back, we're gonna have Sarah on the show. Super excited. If you guys have questions for her, or you think of questions, throw them in the chat. We'll get them all answered. And this is gonna be a fun one. So Radar, say goodbye to everybody because they're not gonna see you till after the interview.
Yeah, bye. I'll see you.
Bye. See you guys. All right, guys. I'm gonna toss it to the video package. We'll go to a short break and we'll be right back with Sarah. We'll see you after the break. Shots.
You're wearing the necklace. Are you going somewhere? South.
Quality control.
You told me you were done with that.
There are some administrative issues I have to attend to.
And what do I do if something happens to you?
Baby, nothing's gonna happen to me. And if anything did, you're taken care of.
Sheriff, ballistics just sent this over. We got a match.
Whoa, hey, don't hang up.
The slug they pulled out of Deputy Luna was key. The lands and grooves resemble a Lorson 380. Gun was the favorite of a career felon, drug dealer by the name of Danny Flores.
What's his last name?
Okay?
Damn. Let's go pay him a visit.
Jaden has a D in algebra. He's on academic probation. One more infraction will result in expulsion.
Mike. May I call you Mike?
You can call me Principal Bird, Mr.
You
Hoyles.
can call me Dr. Hoyles because I have a PhD in whole grain oats and rainbow marshmallows. The cereal goblin flakes, for goodness sakes.
Give me some goblin flakes.
Gobble them up, JJ.
Principal Burr, if people learn that the face of our company...
I'm sure we can find a path back to good standing.
C- instead of a D, how about that? I want you to know that Hoylesome Cereal offers educational grants.
Yes.
A bribe?
No, no bribe. No bribe. No. A helping hand.
Oh, speaking of celebrating, I'm gonna go with Tammy tomorrow to get a new dress for the wedding. And I want to use the gold card.
I gotta use it to pay the mortgage on
I
Friday.
thought we were gonna use your overtime check.
Well, we were, but then we went to the hot springs with your sister.
I thought we used the gold card for that.
No, the payment for the gold card was late, so it wasn't
Okay,
processed.
well, I need a new dress for the wedding.
What's wrong with the dresses you have?
What was wrong with the TV you had?
This one's got 4K.
What the fuck is 4K?
It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a new dress tomorrow.
You smell like vanilla instead of piss and dust because of me. I'm not welcome here anymore, fine. You can spread me out for the pigeons when I die. Miles from any tombstone with the family name on it. You just do whatever it takes to get me in that will. Because you wishing things had played out differently means nothing to me. It does nothing for me.
Hey, you looking for a bathroom? I'll show you one more time. I could get you one of the other girls if you just tell me which one you like.
What's your name?
Jamie.
How about you and me get a drink sometime, Jamie? Just not tonight.
Howie and Shotgun have my number, alright?
I'll get it from them.
I played by all the rules, and I still lost it all. In the world, they just smile back, whatever. No big deal, right? So how am I supposed to dance now? Why? Why would I want to dance now?
Why, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
You're Matt, right?
I am Matt. Have we met?
No.
What's up?
It just says your name on the sock stuck to your back.
Are you serious?
You've got some great friends.
I knew a boy once. He made it his mission in life to make me happy. Though I didn't deserve it. He built me a raft. It was made out of old tires. And he called it Westward. To take me away. I often wonder what happened to that raft.
That first day was amazing. But that night, I guess he drugged me. I woke up in the back of a van with a bunch of men.
I am so sorry.
I want a photo of you in that cheerleading uniform, Nikki Sullivan.
Let's go. Car is here.
Okay. Kyle is at Tom's for the weekend, and then you're gonna take him to school all next week, okay?
I know the job.
All right. Hotel number's here. Bye. Nikki, don't throw any parties.
But I need you. Well, why, Mr. Grant? Because I love you. Love. Now, who needs a frivolous thing like love in the land of honey and diamonds? I do. Oh, why is that, Mr. Grant? Because I love to be in love. Well, honey, you don't need a woman. You need a doctor.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Let's go. Right here, right now. I'm better without you. You're always on my mind. But right here, right now. I'm better without you. I've had this for some time. But right now, I know that I'm better on my own.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is hour 2 of Pop Culture Warrior. I am so excited to speak with my guest tonight. And it did the thing. Sorry, hang on. This is the joy of putting on a live show. For some reason, things don't like to behave correctly. There we go. Ooh, sorry about that. This video, whatever. Take 2. My guest tonight is Sarah Minnich. She's a film and television actress who can currently be seen starring in the new Zach Snyder Netflix film Army of the Dead. Up next, Sarah can be seen in the upcoming Netflix film Intrusion. The film follows a woman who moves to a small town with her husband but is rattled when she's targeted for a home invasion. The film is slated to release in fall of 2021. From silver screen to television, music videos, Sarah has built herself a multifaceted career in entertainment. She's best known as Brenda from AMC's hit series Better Call Saul and her lead role in the Lifetime TV movie Dying for a Baby. Additional film credits include Running with the Devil, Sicario, Shock Collar, The Ridiculous Six. TV credits include Briar Patch, Preacher, Godless, Midnight Texas. The list goes on and on and on and on. Outside of being an actress, she has achieved her bachelor's degree and master's degree from the University of New Mexico with hopes of one day pursuing a PhD. Please, everybody, give a warm welcome to my guest tonight, Sarah Minnich.
Hey, everybody!
That's you.
Thanks for having me.
That's you.
It's always crazy to hear about my credits because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember now.
I did that thing that one time. That's right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to chat.
Oh, this is I'm salivating. I'm so excited. I am not a person in the entertainment industry, but I am a huge fan. I love the work that goes behind this. The whole reason I created this show was because I wanted to talk to the directors, the producers, the actors, the writers, the stuntmen. We had last week we had the director of the documentary Stuntman. This is the stuff I live for. I'm so fascinated by what you do, and it is an honor to speak with you tonight.
Well, I'll tell you this. Artists like to talk to other passionate people because that is what we are plagued with. Passion.
Fantastic. And as everybody on the show knows, the first question always comes out of the gate. We are a military veteran / active duty themed, whatever you want to call it. But we always like to ask the guests, what is your connection to the military? Did you serve? Did someone you know serve? Family member, friend, anything like that?
All my grandfathers. Every single one. And I say all of them because I have more than 2. So you're like, wow, how did that work? So my grandfather on my mother's side served in the military. He was in the Navy. My grandfather on my father's side was in the Air Force, and he was actually, after the Air Force, a scientist and helped in the development of the Sidewinder rocket, which is something crazy. My dad tells me that, and I'm like, wow. What? Are you sure, Dad? And he's like, yes, I can actually go into great detail about it. I'm like, okay. And then my grandfather on my stepmother's side was also in the Army.
Wow. That is a deep connection. So that is awesome. Hopefully, because I did my research. I looked at your filmography and very impressive. Nothing military related. I was like, oh, maybe, she plays this badass, military person, or even, it was the classic, the spouse of a military guy, because, that's not cliche enough. Like, we don't have women that serve, but hopefully one day we get to see it.
I will say this, that's definitely a dream of mine, to portray a strong military woman like that. But I will say, I think it's really important to save those roles for those women who have actually experienced it as well. And I think that there are a lot of actresses who have been in the military, and I think we need to give them credence and honor that.
Oh, fantastic. What a good answer. Ooh, you're good at this. You're good at this. We're going to get along swimmingly. Okay, so before we dive into some of the work that you've done, I always like to take a few minutes to kind of let's let the audience get to know you and the person behind the characters, behind the camera, so to speak. So I did a little digging, and I read that you grew up loving like epic movies like Braveheart, Dances with Wolves. Was that kind of the stuff that like led you to want to pursue a career in this kind of field?
So it's not a normal 10-year-old that's watching a movie like Braveheart, right? But my father was always really into these sort of battle epics. And for some reason, I just found them to be so intriguing and passionate, and there was grit, and there was all of those really intense human emotions that I think as actors we're reaching for. And although in my early years, I wasn't like, oh, okay, I'm going to go be an actor, I'm going to go do this exactly. I actually wanted to be an obstetrician gynecologist when I was a kid, which is a little different.
Okay.
But I was always in front of the camera. And so sort of that mix of seeing all of these epics growing up with a father who was a performing artist, and then also being in front of the camera for all of my formative years, eventually, once I hit my teens and late teens, I was like, this is what I should be doing. I need to be in front of the camera. I need to be performing. I need to be exploring complex human emotions. What am I thinking? And then I just got there through a series of a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, that's incredible. And so right now, I know obviously you can't see it, but I'm already getting inundated with people in the chats that first of all, because I told you during the break that I showed your demo reel, and a lot of people that are saying like, wow, that was incredible. So you're getting a lot of kudos for your performances and the people you've worked with. But again, before we get into that, you also, because we just touched on kind of those formative years and the high school years, I read that you considered yourself kind of a nerd in high school, and that you were in the marching band, you were valedictorian. Was it you played like the flute and the piccolo? I think it was.
Yes. I was a big nerd for sure. So in high school, I had this. Well, the early years of high school, I had this big gap between my teeth, and so, I mean, people used to make fun of me big time. And then I had two parents who were teachers at the high school I went to. And so nobody wanted to be friends with me because they were like, she's a narc. And then also I was in the marching band, and I had the blue uniform and everything. I learned how to do that special walk they do in marching band. And then I had my flute. And of course, this was around the time that American Pie came out. So everybody was making that joke about the flute.
It already came up in the chats, by the way. Before you even said that, it was once in Bandcamp, came right up in the chat. So right on cue. Perfect.
So I was basically tortured by Bandcamp jokes. And I actually did go to Bandcamp. And I can confirm that Bandcamp is scandalous. Okay, it is scandalous. It really is. So my entire high school career was just people making these terrible Bandcamp jokes and people not wanting to hang out because I had narc parents who were teachers. They're not really narcs.
I wonder if you could have split the difference, right? Because something like American Pie maybe kind of made Bandcamp kids cool for a second. Like maybe if the parents weren't teachers, maybe you wouldn't with the in crowd there for a minute. I don't know. Is that you think?
I don't know. I mean, in my high school, a lot of the band kids the drummers were cool. The drummers were the cool ones, but everybody else was kind of like, okay, whatever. You guys are on a different page. So
that's gotta be. We're not dating anybody here, but that's gotta be like Drumline. Wasn't that a movie that was super popular for like early some odd years? But yeah, it made drummers popular.
Yeah, and they have charisma and swagger, you know,
Right.
and flute players don't necessarily have swagger. So we try, but not that.
I'm pretty sure every great rock band needs a flute player. I'm just saying that's what's missing from everyone.
Gosh.
Let me ask you, obviously this is something you have a passion for, this is a career for you. Before we actually talk about the actual roles, like what is it? Can you quantify what do you like about acting the most? What draws you to this day in and day out?
Oh my gosh. I love having the creative freedom to work myself into another character, to work myself into another consciousness, really to develop my thoughts so that I'm a different person for that moment. Don't get me wrong. I like coming right back to my reality. I'm not saying like I want to be somebody else, but I love being able to play. I love being able to experience all of these different sort of walks of life in and through acting.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a good point. I mean, the idea, you know, everybody loves Halloween, right? We, as kids, we loved, you know, playing make believe. So the idea of that, like, oh my God, I can get paid to do that? That sounds awesome. That sounds so cool. So you win. You win with that right away.
Well, there's this moment too that you can like get into in acting, and I call it sort of being in the flow, and it's where you're absolutely connected and present with the other actor, and it's like a high. I mean, you know, I'm not personally a drug user, but at the same time, that right there, being in it with another actor, that's a high.
That's the drug. It's the addiction to the craft, the acting craft. Speaking of acting, did you take formal training? Did you kind of just jump in both feet? I mean, what was kind of your entry into the world?
Okay, so my first, I want to say 10 years of acting, I didn't train. And I was like, I don't need to train, which is so stupid. I was so bad in my early years. And, you know, I'm still learning every day. And then finally, over the past, I want to say 4 years or so, I started training. And I started training with Bob Jesser, who's done a lot of training stuff in New Mexico. And then I got into training with Leslie Kahn out of California and met my core acting group. And ever since then, things have really changed up for me in terms of the way that I approach acting.
Awesome. Yeah. And so you, speaking of your early days, we'll transition here. Nice smooth segue into the acting of it. You know, you cut your teeth on Spring Break Massacre in 2008. I'm curious with a title like that. I'm curious, what was your expectation kind of going into it, and then how was that different, and what you expected it to be?
Okay, so let me just tell you about that film. So I auditioned for that when I was barely 18 years old. And it was like one of the very first things I'd ever auditioned for. And for some reason, they were like, yeah, we'll take you. You can be a lead in this. And I was like, okay. And so I ended up going to Illinois with all of these people that I was just completely fascinated by, completely ignorant and fascinated. And proceeded to have the time of my life next to this lake in this crazy setup that was like being at band camp. Let me just tell you what, with all of these actors who knew what they were doing. I had no clue what I was doing. I was completely lost. And anyway, and I just did it. And I had the most amazing time. And my expectations were, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to go and do this. And I was really stupid at the time. So I decided that I was madly in love with one of my co-stars, who was like, I don't know, 20 years older than me at the time. I mean, I guess he's still 20 years older than me. And he played me like a violin, which was hilarious. I walked out of there 18 years old, just blindsided, doe-eyed, like, I don't know what just happened, and heartbroken, but had the time of my life. Like it was both an amazing experience and an extremely big learning experience for me.
I mean, considering that maybe not the best case scenario, but that's pretty good. Pretty good. You got something out of it, and you learned something.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated because as I was looking through your filmography, that you did play. You had a role in Breaking Bad. You played was it Party Girl dancing all up on our guy
Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul. My God, I totally blanked on the name.
Happens to me too.
We're gonna get along so well. So and you go from, let's just say, random party girl
Sure.
dancing on Aaron Paul. And then, here comes many years later the prequel series, Better Call Saul, and you get tapped to play this character, Brenda, who has somewhat of a recurring role. What was that process kind of like, going from, because I'm assuming we're not going to tie those two characters and go like, well, that was Brenda. She really had a falling off towards the end of the series. So what was that like, stepping into basically what is the same universe as a whole different person?
That was awesome. I didn't actually think that I was going to get the role because we thought that it would be a conflict. But then they were like, nah, we'll go with it. And then for a bit there was like this whole discussion of, are they just two separate people and we're really not even connecting them at all? And then there was some, speculation about maybe they are connected and something's going to come out. And I was so hopeful. I think at one point, one of the producers came up to me when I was on set working with Odenkirk and was like, we have our eye on you. And I was like, oh my God. And I went home and I was like, this could be it. This is going to be my big break. It's I mean, the problem is that I don't think they took me further in that series because some people were getting confused between Ray Seahorn and I, which, how could you get confused? Ray Seahorn's Ray Seahorn. Like, she's epic, man. Not that I'm not epic too, but I'm just saying, like, we're not the same person, but we're both blonde and,
Yeah.
stuff.
Similar enough, that us mild-mannered viewers, we get confused very easily. You know how
I get confused very easily. Let me just tell you about my everyday.
And really the most, I mean, kind of the big thing, we kind of let off with it that you're in right now. You have an appearance in Zach Snyder's Army of the Dead, which, I mean, oh my God, like, what a moment for you. And I'm curious, for those that didn't see, that you come in at the end of the movie, almost like an epilogue of what's going on. When you got that part, when you read the script, when you read the scene, did you know you were in like the finale of the movie? Like, do they tell you that kind of stuff? Are you privy to that?
No, it was super under wraps. The script was all NDA'd. And so I just knew what my scene was going to be. And then when I got script, when I got on the set, I was like, oh, this is cool. But then I didn't actually realize how cool it was until I saw it, until it actually came out. And I can't really speak to anything down the line because that's an NDA.
Sure.
But I can say that cool things are coming. And it was a pretty exciting role for me. We'll see what happens, won't we?
Yeah, no, it's a very I want to say it's a shocking moment, because as the viewer, I'm watching the movie and we kind of tie up everything with a bow, and then all of a sudden there's this other scene, and you and I don't know the other woman's name that plays the other stewardess, but you kind of this pivotal moment, and you don't know what's gonna happen, and it's like, as the viewer, I'm like, I'm on pins and needles, like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And then it kind of just trails off there. So obviously I was maybe gonna ask, are we gonna see anything else coming out of this? But I know, Zack Snyder.
What you're talking about.
Yeah. Tell me what it was like, because I can only imagine the way that was shot. It was lengthwise down this corridor of an airplane. I can imagine if it were a side shot, then like, oh, you can have the whole. Everybody knows what a movie set looks like, right? There's a wall and then the cameras. But the way this was shot, like, that seemed very claustrophobic. You guys were like in there.
Dude, we were in an actual private jet, and like, these things are not massive. I mean, yeah, there's a little, like, you could lay down from one side to another, but that's it. And then we've got Zack Snyder in there, and he's running camera, and he's like running camera on his shoulder. And we've got Omari Hardwick, which he's like a big guy,
Big dude.
He's not hurting anybody's feelings. And we've got me in there, and the wonderful woman behind me, and then we've got sound, and we've got scripty, and it's hot in there. Like, it was, I don't know, it must have gotten up to 90, and we're just sweating, and makeup's like, peek out so we can fix you because you're really shiny, because we're all sweating profusely. And, Zach's just sitting there, and he's just so cool to hang out. He's somebody that you could, like, sit around the campfire with and just have a beer with, I mean, somebody that's actually cool to talk to. which isn't always the case.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Yeah, I can't. Where was the plane physically when you guys were shooting that scene?
In a hangar.
In a hangar in which
It
state?
was in a hangar. New Mexico.
Mexico. Oh, God, summertime? God, I hope not.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was so hot, dude. You have let me just tell you. So what they do on sets is they have these AC units, and then they have these big tubes that come out of them, and then they just point the tube wherever they want it to go. And so they just funneled the tube right into the opening of the airplane, and and it's just blowing on us, and we're all standing there like, oh my God, this is amazing, you know?
oh man, yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, it's great.
I guess it's cheaper than building a fake airplane, I guess.
It is. Yeah.
Looking through some of your work, you have worked alongside some, I mean, heavyweights in the industry. Just to name a few: Justin Long, Matthew Broderick, Harvey Keitel, Nicolas Cage, Emily Blunt, John Bernthal, Adam Sandler. I mean, I can't even put into words, what is that like, just being in the radius while they're doing their craft, right? While they're in character, while they're acting, and you get to just I don't know. I'd be the worst background actor because I'd just be like, just staring at them work. What is that like for you?
Tell you. Oh, it's epic. It depends on the actor too, right? When I met Adam Sandler, I was like, because I've been watching him since I was 10 years old. How are you not blown the fish away by Adam Sandler? And then, oh man, and then I really enjoyed John Bernthal. He was really friendly and kind to me, and very just welcoming as a human being. The time that I worked with Harvey Keitel, it was really early in my career. I had no idea what I was doing. And I remember the casting director, Kathy Brink, amazing woman. She said to me, just watch what's happening, watch him, and you'll be okay. Because I was like, oh my God, why did they cast me? I'm so confused. And they wanted me to improv with Harvey Keitel. I'm looking at this guy like, I don't know what improv is. I was so lost, man. And they cut out all the scenes because it was shit. But at the same time, if they gave me that chance now, bring it on, Now, the most exciting thing I think though was when I met Nicolas Cage. Because, and I'll tell you why.
Please.
When I was a teenage girl, he was my favorite actor, and I'm not shitting you here. I'm not like, oh, he was my favorite actor. He was my favorite actor, and my best friend Lindsay knows about it. She's like, oh my God, we used to watch him all the time, and he was your favorite, and da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, bitch, I know. I'm not calling her a bitch, but you know what I mean. And so when I got on set with him, I was just like, oh shit. And I didn't want to talk to him or be like, oh man, and so his assistant comes over, and I was like, do you think I could maybe get a picture with him? I don't know, and I knew how to do my job. I knew how to go on set and be a professional actor at that point in my career. But offset, when he's just sitting there, and I'm just like, oh my God, dude, that's Nicolas Cage. Okay, don't look like that, Sarah. You're acting like a dumbass. And so, it was really exciting.
I don't think anybody in the audience right now would blame you for acting that way. I grew up on his films as well, right? Face Off and The Rock, and great work. So and I think in that one you played his wife, right? You played a younger woman to his older guy wife. I'm curious because you're like, oh, I want a picture, but you're in the movie with him. You share scene. There's this thing called film that has you two together. But I guess that's different, right? That's, as an actor, that's different than oh, here's a picture with me and my buddy, right?
You know what was funny too? When we took the picture, in the picture, he has just the Nicolas Cage face. He's not smiling. He's doing the Nicolas Cage face. It's just this is amazing. And I'm playing pregnant, so I've got this big old belly in the picture, and I'm just and he's got the Nick Cage face on.
Oh man, I could geek out with you over just the people that you've worked with. And I'm audience. I'm eventually going to get to your questions, but I'm having too much fun here. I apologize. I will get to your questions. I promise at some point. Let me ask you. I'll put you on the spot here. I'm going to challenge you. What is the biggest misconception of your profession, of being an actress?
Oh, I think it's that when actors and actresses play bad guys, that they're actually bad guys. Have you seen that? Like a lot of folks will come out and they'll play these dark ass brutal characters. People are like, no, he's really an asshole, man. Like some of the nicest people I've ever met have been the people playing bad guys. And some of the most just not nice people have been playing the good guys. I
Sure.
mean, I think that's a big misconception.
That's a great point. I think of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan on The Walking Dead. I mean, everyone always says he's just the nicest, sweetest man, but he's a horrible person as an act, as a character. So no, that's I mean, excellent point. And I mean, I won't name names. But I mean, I think of people that played like Batman, who've kind of lost their cool on set, and certain things. I mean, no, not naming names, but it is what it is.
I won't name names either, but I can say that on Ridiculous 6, there was one actor who I've always watched, not Adam Sandler, but somebody that I've watched for years and years and years that plays the coolest person. Not harsh.
I mean, that brings up a great, and we're not, hey, we're professionals here. We're not going to name names, but I'm curious, as a professional, as someone who goes in to do the job, how do you react to that? How do you internalize that when you're like, oh man, I'm really excited to work with, and then you kind of get like the cold shoulder, or you don't get that, professional courtesy, like, oh, I'm too hot for this, how do you take that?
I remember what it must be, not personally, but I can empathize with what it must be like to be in that position. Because, okay, sometimes I have random folks, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate the fans, and I appreciate the attention. But at the same time, sometimes people get really personal and super like in your face. And I'm not famous like these people are. Like, I'm not famous like Nick Cage is. I'm not famous like Jeff Bridges. And these people, they can't even go to the grocery store without people like, oh my God, can I get an autograph and this and the other? And they're like, holy shit, man, I'm just trying to use the restroom. That's an intense amount of attention. That's an intense amount of fame. And so usually what I do is I'm like, hey, you know what? It's not about you. They are dealing with their own set of things.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah, and it's true. And you never know. You catch people on a bad day. I mean, like you said, I get it. You see, you tune into like a TMZ and it's like, oh, this guy's coming out of bathroom screaming. I'm like, yeah, somebody probably trying to take a picture of him when he was in there. I'd be in a bad mood too. But then, when you got the repeat offenders and the people are like, well, we're in private. There's no reason for you to be a dick right now. Okay.
for sure.
But anyway, whatever. We'll move on to nicer things. You're too nice for that. I'm not won't slander anybody today.
Thanks.
From an acting standpoint, what can you describe me? What's the toughest role that you've played so far, and what made it so challenging for you?
I played a role in the TV show Them Covenant, and I played a wildly racist woman, and that was a little tough for me because in the show, I'm not sure who's seen it and who hasn't. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's a great show. But there are a lot of acts of blatant racism, both passive and active, physical and verbal. And it was a little tough for me. I understand. Ooh, this is a hard combo. I don't want to get too far into this because I know this is a super delicate thing. It's super delicate, but I will say it's tough to play a character that's full of a lot of hate. I'll say that.
No, I mean it's especially in the time we're living in. I've asked a few people this. So I had like Colin Mockery, whose line is it anyway, who's an improviser, and like in a today we live in a situation where everybody has to have a social media presence, actors included. You have to put your face out there. You have to do nobody shows like this. I get it. It's part of the game. That's what we do. But when we do seem to be in a situation where everybody's so on edge and everybody's so quick to pull that card, that trigger that says, "Oh, you're canceled." How do you personally balance the okay, celebrity, the acting, the towing the line because I don't want to be out of a job, right? Because if I say the wrong thing, but still being active in social media, how do you balance all that?
I have to be really clear about what image I want to put out there, and I mean, I think also it comes down to communication. Thank God I have a degree in communication because I don't know how else to talk about all this shenanigans. You know, it's very tricky, and so I think you have to learn to do that fine line between being politically correct and being true to yourself and standing up for what you believe in. So I don't know if I have a very concrete answer for you on that, except that yes, it is a challenge. Yes, it's an interesting balancing act trying to make sure that I'm not screwing myself by saying random shit. So, you know, if I do these interviews, I have to really think about, all right, Sarah, what are you saying and what are the implications of this?
Right. And sometimes it's you do say something innocent. And that was something me and Colin talked about, is like, you might say something that in your mind is completely innocent. And it's just either misconstrued or somebody's going to take that and you know, spin it their own way. So I don't envy your position is what I'm trying to get across. Given that we're now on the tail end of, you know, the pandemic to end all pandemics, how did you stay sane during this time? Because I can only imagine, as a working actress and a person in the industry, like, it's always like, okay, what's the next job, or what's my line, what's the script, what's this, what's that. So when everything was shut down, how'd you kind of stay sane?
I started training with Leslie Kahn. And I met 4 incredible other actors, Rian Sheehy Kelly, Joel Hebner, Shanae Moore, and Alex O'Shea. And I met these people and started working with them every day. And it kept me sane, because when you don't have projects coming up, it's a little rough. It can get kind of sad and draining. And so finding a group of people that you really click with and that you can just pull random side scenes, films out and just play with them and work on them, I think is really cathartic. And then on top of that, I did a lot of sewing.
Yeah, because I've seen you on Instagram, everything, like you say, I'm actress, seamstress, you know, outdoor person. That's such a random thing. Where did that come from?
I know. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I just like it's in my family. My grandmother Carolyn was a seamstress, and so from an early age, I was like, I want to make costumes. I want to make Renaissance dresses. What? I guess it comes from those epic films, right? So I said, I want to make Renaissance dresses, and she was like, okay, whatever. And so she started teaching me to do that. And I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her before she passed, but the time that I did get to spend, she taught me a lot. And so ever since then, I've been a sewing enthusiast, you could say.
Yeah, and Jim in the chats, he says, I hope she knows she can say anything she wants here. So I think that's it. Back to the conversation of like, well, you know, you say the wrong thing, you know, people are gonna get upset. Like, there you go, from the audience themselves, you can say whatever you want here. Nobody judges.
Thanks, Jim. I love you for that, man. I really appreciate you supporting me, because it's hard.
Hey, it's not easy. Kaz says Sarah has. People are checking you out because Sarah has 6 films in post production. Wow. So care to comment, Kaz? He's checking you out.
Well, thank you, Kaz. I really appreciate you looking. I actually have a couple other ones too that aren't up there yet. So I'm really excited, and I'm so glad that you're checking it out. And I can't wait till October because Intrusion is going to come out on Netflix. And I know you can't tell I'm excited about that at all, but you know, I am. I'm really excited. And then I can't wait until a couple of these have been in post-production for like a couple of years now. And I think the pandemic really put on hold the post-production process. And so I'm just like, come on, let's get these out. Because I want to see what it's like. You know, I want to see what it looks like, how it came out.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna go back a step here because we were kind of talking about the pandemic and staying sane, and it triggered a thought. A recurring theme or topic we'll talk about here and touch on here is mental health. I'm a big proponent of it. I'm a guy who I was injured in combat and I suffer from PTSD, and there's never we don't talk enough about mental health and how important it is, men, women, regardless. So I'm curious, the entertainment industry as a whole, it's full of stress. It's full of pressure. I mean, any way you slice it, right? Whether it's the auditioning process, whether it's the memorizing the lines or impressing the press, whatever it is, there's lots of it. How do you handle that pressure? How does that? I don't know. You would know better than I would, but how do you handle that?
I have a really great therapist. I do. I mean, I'm laughing, but I do. I have a great therapist who I see on a regular basis. And I think something to point out about actors is we're typically people that are seeking approval. And again, I know, don't come for me, okay? I know there's a lot of actors out there that are like, I'm not seeking approval. I'm seeking approval, okay? I don't know about y'all, but I'm over here seeking approval. And so I think a lot of us are. And I think you have to walk into therapy or into some sort of support group and figure out what it is that drives you and figure out what it is that makes you tick. And I think too, you have to get to a point in your life where you can ask for help. Yeah. And I think that a lot of folks are stuck in a pattern where they feel like, oh God, nobody wants to hear what I have to talk about. I know this, and they feel like it's ridiculous what's going through their head, and they feel like I'm alone, and they feel like I'm in pain and I don't know what to do about it, and I don't want people to be worried about me, and I don't want people to be angry, and so they have a hard time reaching out. And I think once you can learn to reach out and discuss what's paining you, which is something that I've learned to do, I think you can make a lot of growth and improvement. And I lean heavily on my therapist and my friends. And, I talk to my parents too, and I'm fortunate and blessed in that way. I understand that some people don't have parents that they can talk to, but that's where the friends and the spouses and the therapists come in.
Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, that's an excellent answer. I think there shouldn't be a stigma for having a therapist or seeking help. I mean, we go to the gym to keep our bodies in shape. It makes sense to go to someone who can help keep your mind in shape, right? Like exercise that muscle in your head and be in a good place. I think that's so important. I thank you for opening up and sharing about that, because I do as well. So
of course,
with that and with that pressure and with what comes with it, how do you react? I'm always curious, like, it happens to everybody, right? The negative press, the negative review. You put your heart and soul into this performance, and you feel like you knocked it out of the park, and then some asshole in some tabloid or online blog is like, "Well, that was garbage." Like, do you see that stuff? Do you allow yourself to? How are you affected by it?
I don't pay a ton of attention to it, because here's what's going to happen. It doesn't matter what you do. Somebody's going to hate it and somebody's going to love it. And that's that. So whatever. Somebody's going to hate it. Okay. I'm sorry that you hate it for your sake. I hope you find something that you love, but it is what it is. There's not much I can do about it,
I couldn't agree more with you.
I can't control it, so why try?
Jim, again, man, Jim is really coming to your defense today. He says, you seem to be happy doing this podcast. You seem like an awesome person. So if it helps, I think we all approve of you. So.
Oh, thanks, Jim. Jim's like my new homie, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know who Jim is. Jim's like, I actually know you, dude. Like, we're decent friends. How do you not know it's me?
You don't recognize me, Jim? So, okay, switching gears to a lighter subject. What do you enjoy working on more? Is it the feature films? Is it the TV stuff? If you had to choose one, you're the authority deems you can only have one. Where are you going?
You want to know what my dream is?
Right.
Because my dream is to be a series regular on a television show, on probably like a studio television show, like an HBO type of thing, or Amazon or Apple TV type of thing. That is my dream, and I will do it. I just want y'all to know, keep your eyes out, because it's going to happen soon.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be a series regular on a studio show.
For sure.
Series.
Obviously.
Soon.
Obviously.
But to answer your question a little more thoroughly, I have had some of the most fun, yes, on television shows, but some of the most fun on indie features. So for instance, that one that I did with Justin Long called The Wave?
Right.
So much fun, man. That was so much fun. It was epic. I mean, I actually got to hang out, you know, and be an actor. It wasn't just like a one-line thing. Like I was a supporting character. I had an arc. I had an opinion, and it was really enjoyable, really incredible. And then I also really enjoyed working on something that's coming out that I got to improv with BJ Novak, man.
Oh, wow.
Like I got to like actually improv with him. They let me talk, and you know, that was incredible. Another indie feature. I think it's Vengeance, unless they renamed it. But that was, again, one of the most fun experiences I've had. When you get to work as an actor and they let you do your thing, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
You get to really sink your teeth into it, right? The character, and breathe it life, you know, from whatever it is you're pulling from your own experiences or people you know or whatever. But I think that's awesome. Speaking of, and I'm sure Jim's out there like already starting the petition to get you on, I don't know, Westworld or something. But you know, we're all in line to sign the petition to make sure you get exactly what you want. Anyway, time's flying already. We got like 15 more minutes. We're trying to plug away at these questions as they come in. So okay, so we said features of work. What is your strength as an actor? What makes you like? What do you think makes you stand out from the typical actress?
Okay, I think it's changed. So I think it might have been different about a year ago than what it is now, because I've been told lately that I'm fairly organic. And what they mean by that, because you're like, you're organic? What are you, a fruit? No, like what I mean by that is that like when you can be natural, like you're just having a conversation with someone. I've been told lately that that's the thing that I've been able to do well. If I look back at some of my old work, I'm like, that doesn't look organic to me, man. But again, things change as you go. So to be natural, I think that's my strength. I also think that I listen well. I think that I listen well and take direction well.
Nice. Yeah, I can understand the organic, meaning like you don't look like you're acting. You look like you're just there in the moment. You're present. So that's awesome. That's very cool. Let's see. We're getting more questions. Like I can't keep up. I'm trying here. What actor or actress made you starstruck meeting them?
Nicolas Cage, for sure. I was like, whoa. Also, Adam Sandler, whoa, because I grew up watching them. You know, when you've watched someone since you were a preteen, it's shocking when you finally get to meet them, because, I mean, we don't see them. There's this interesting phenomena that happens in our brains as humans, where we see these people that are stars and we don't quite connect them with reality, right? And so then we meet them in person, and all of a sudden they are reality and they're flesh and blood. It's like, whoa, you know, it's a little shocking.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. They're these people you put on a pedestal. They're almost these godlike, figures from the clouds, and then you bump into them, and you're like, oh my God, you're a person. So let's say another comment here. Other actress, I'm not going to name names, but it's an actress has spoken publicly of, and I quote, D-bag, stalky fans and fans that are inappropriate. How do you deal with that? Have you had that been exposed to that? I guess they mean D-bag stalkers.
Just ignore. I ignore it. I ignore it. You know, I mean, if I get people that send me super inappropriate stuff on social media, I just block it and move on, because again, I can't control it. So what am I going to do about it? I'm not going to spend a lot of mental energy on it. And so I focus my mental energy elsewhere, like actually trying to improve my art.
Oh, okay. If there are people out there and they would watch only one thing you've ever done, what's the one thing they should watch?
Oh, that's brutal, man. I don't know. Okay, let's see. What's the one thing they should watch?
Gotta sell yourself. That one, man, you blew it away. That's the one performance.
They should watch that's out right now. They should watch The Wave. That's coming out. You should watch Vengeance.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep that one going. I'm gonna make sure that when Vengeance comes out, we have everybody watch it. So catch you doing your thing.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you have the ability to really dive in on a character and we're not talking about the one line or the background, whatever. But when you get that character that you can really make your own, what's kind of how do you approach that role? How do you make that character yours?
Sure. I do a lot of script analysis. I work it with my team over and over and over and over again. And then I get on set and I drop all of that prep and I live in the moment.
Huh.
I know that sounds pretty simplified, but I think I have this thing that I say sometimes: trust the prep. I don't know where I got that. I'm sure I got it from somebody. I just don't know who I got it from. So help me out here. Trust the prep. So I do a shit ton of prep, and then I let go of the prep, and I just be in the moment. That's that.
Hey, that's your process. If it works for you, that's all that matters. We're just trying to glean some of that knowledge from you. We're trying to absorb it.
Now I will say this though. Hold on, I
Yep.
have a little bit more answer to that. I
Please.
just came up with. Okay, so I recently did a role. Okay, and it's called the film is called The Misanthrope. Okay, and for this role, I had to learn a dance, and I can't give too much information because of NDA. But this is an Andy Kostelic film, and he's a very passionate filmmaker. And when he offered this role to me, I was like, ooh, this is really tough, and it's kind of morbid and kind of brutal. And then there's this dance, and I'm not really a dancer, but when I do something, I do the shit out of it. And so I went and hired a professional dance teacher. I went and decided I was going to spend $500 on ballet point shoes. And I was like, I'm going to do this until people are just blown away. And I spent so much money just getting ready to do this dance. And then I went on set that day and I knocked it out of the park, and everybody was like, what the fuck? Like, and cause I'm not a dancer, I didn't grow up dancing, but if you give me a challenge, I'll often rise to the occasion. And so in that way, there's another side of prep.
Very nice. I like it. It was a great answer. Outstanding answer. Thanks. Your friend Jim is back. He says, if she only had one thing to watch forever, what would it be?
Can I put a network on there?
I guess a thing.
One show. Oh, mercy. That's brutal, man. I would watch probably Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Excellent answer.
I
Excellent.
watch it like 5 or 10 times a year because it just kills me every time.
Apparently,
Great.
Kaz says Jim must be Sarah's manager. So I don't know if he's petitioning for the job or what. All right. Scott says, are you planning to do anything beyond acting, possibly directing, anything like that in the future?
So my friends would say that considering my highly controlling personality, that I would do directing quite well. But I mean, I've never had the chance, and I'm just so much an actor that I think I'll stick with acting for the time being, at least. Down the line, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, who knows? But for now, it's going to be acting.
Awesome. We got a few more minutes. I'm gonna try to pump through these questions as fast as I can. Everybody's so excited, man. They're so excited to have you on. There's so many questions coming in. Is there? This is from Jake. Is there a vintage or throwback movie or series that you think needs to be rebooted? Everything's getting rebooted right now. What do you think? A throwback or a vintage that needs to be rebooted?
Oh, and this is from Jake.
This is from Jake.
Jake is trying to put me on the spot here, Jake.
They're giving you the hard stuff.
Oh, I'd love to see. I mean, I think another Braveheart would be interesting. I don't know if that's considered vintage, because that's kind of the 90s. So is that vintage now?
30 years, I think that's.
But then at the same time, it was done so well. Why would you change something that was done so well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I that's a really hard answer, my friend. I would have to. I think I'd have to sit and think about that for about 5 weeks.
Okay. Well, you get back to us. We'll post your answer.
I'll let you know. If I come up with something, I'll post it on like Twitter or something.
Yeah. We're getting the woodworks out on the random questions. I'm gonna try to keep it on topic here, people. Come on. Like Coke or Pepsi, soda or pop. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. This is a professional actress. All right. Let's give her some good stuff.
Soda. I didn't grow up using pop, but yeah, soda.
There you go. Soda. There's your answer. I read somewhere that you've always been interested in things that aren't understood. So like UFOs, aliens, things like that. Does that still hold true?
So, you want to hear something funny? So I was watching Ancient Aliens for like, I don't know, a few years. And I was just like, this is amazing, you know, and I would watch it every once in a while. And then I was buying these books about conspiracy theories. And I was just like, what's happening here? And then around 2017, I watched this one episode of Ancient Aliens and it scared the shit out of me. And that just stopped. I was like, no, I'm good now. Thanks. That was nice. That was really exciting and interesting. I'm good. I've had my fill.
Okay, fair enough.
Physics fascinates me though.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I listen to audiobooks about physics sometime because I'm that weirdo. And I don't think people that are listening to physics are weirdos. You know what I mean? And so like that kind of thing really fascinates me. The way things work. Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now we opened another Pandora's box. Scott wants to know, what's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh gosh. Aliens. I'm not considered a conspiracy theory.
I mean, you could say, well, that they exist, that the government knows about it, that they're hiding the information.
Yeah.
There you go, conspiracy theory.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you're in New Mexico. You're out there. You know, isn't that where they always kidnap people?
My favorite though was like the Nazca Lines theories.
Okay.
Get really, really interesting and deep here. Like that was the whole, the guy from Ancient Aliens that's like, if so. He's just great, man. He cracks me up.
Hey, I think you're exciting a lot of people in the audience. I don't know. These guys are loving this stuff. Let's see. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten about the industry? Could be anything from auditioning to the actual acting process to anything.
Have something else. That's the best advice I've ever gotten. Have something else. That doesn't mean like don't be an actor, but have something else that you can put your passion into that really excites you and makes you happy and makes you express that creative side. Because if you don't have it, acting can be such a letdown. It can be so draining that it can take a lot out of you. So if you don't have something else you can turn to, I've seen people really go downhill really fast.
Yeah. Wow, that's really good. That's the same kind of advice you hear like professional athletes. They'll tell the younger guys like, hey, like this is great for when you can do it, but have the backup plan. Have that thing that when you can't do this anymore, like you don't fall to pieces. So that's awesome advice. Yeah. Okay, I got a tough one for you. Ready? This is the tough one of the night.
Get on.
What? I'm trying to think. Was it? Hang on, I lost it. Okay, here it is.
There.
What area would you like to improve as an actor? So, judging yourself, where is that? What do you want to improve in? How do you want to raise it to the next level?
I would like to learn to image better. So let me explain what that means. I would like to be able to image what I'm talking about in the scene in my mind better. Because when you can image things in your mind, people see it in your eyes. And I'd like to learn to really integrate that into my work on a higher level.
Wow. That was right. I mean, I thought I would give you a head scratcher there, man. You nailed that one. Okay, making me look bad here.
No, Jake's question was the ass kicker. Okay,
there you go. Jake wins the prize. He gets the prize.
Yeah, Jake wins.
Man, let's see. If I'm trying to find a good one here for you. Okay, well, since we're getting close to time, what is next for you? What can people keep an eye out for you, and where can people follow and support you?
Oh, well, the best way to keep an eye on what I'm up to is either on Instagram, sarah.minnich, or on IMDb. And you can find me on imdb.com/Sarah Minnich. No, sorry, imdb.me/Sarah Minnich, or just go to IMDb and search Sarah Minnich, I guess. I don't know. And I'm not very good at this computer thing, sorry. People can keep up with me that way. What I have coming out, I have a Netflix feature coming out. We've talked about that. It's called Intrusion. I have, okay, so really quick, very quick. I know we don't have a lot of the
please.
time, but
Take
I
all
did this.
the time. This is your time. You take it.
I just was about to do a film with Jesse Eisenberg, and he cast me, and he is like the nicest person ever, by the way. And it's called When You Finish Saving the World. And this is actually kind of a sad story. I was about to go on set. 3 days before I got on set, I got COVID. And this was back in February. And so I lost the role. And it was this huge, amazing role. And he wrote it bigger for me. And like we were Zoom rehearsing and everything. And this was like the most starstruck moment of my career. Not starstruck, but like honored. He was like, "You're really good." And I was like, "What? You're Jesse Eisenberg." And like, I wish I had recorded it. And one of my dear friends, Alex O'Shea, she was like, "Listen to me. I need you to record all the Zooms that you would do with Jesse Eisenberg because you never know what's going to happen." I didn't record it because I was like, NDAs and I don't want to piss anybody off. I should have recorded it because he was like, "You're actually good." And I was like, "Holy shit, dude." Anyway, so I was going to tell you all, I mean, that's not a film I have coming out because I lost the role, but freaking COVID. But at the same, I mean, and I'm lucky. A lot of people lost a lot more than a role. So,
of course.
You know, please don't come for me. But the point being is that I have a few things coming out. The Vengeance one with BJ Novak is going to come out. I don't know when. I think they're still in post-production. I just did a film with director Charles Murray, called Brother's Keeper. I think it's also called, they may change the name to The Devil You Know, and that's going to come out. Apparently, like thriller things are kind of a niche that I'm sort of getting into, which is really exciting.
Okay.
I just auditioned for a film that I think I might get, so keep your eyes out on Instagram, and I shall let you all know if I do. And then let's see, everything else is on IMDb. And I think a gentleman, it might have been Jim, said that I had like 6 things up there. And so again, some of them have been in post for a couple years. So I can't tell you when they're going to come out, but keep your eyes open, check out Netflix and watch those studios because I'm coming for them. And I'm going to be a series regular on one of those TV shows soon, my friends.
You have literally, I just keep seeing the chat fly. Like these guys are basically, I was going to say propositioning. That is the wrong word. They're petitioning for like roles for you. I think it's something to do with Star Wars. I think they're calling out what you would be perfect for. A Mandalorian queen involved with the Jedi.
Nice.
Sorry, something Indiana Jones. I don't know. Like these guys are.
Okay, hold the door though. Do these guys like know who my dad is or something? Because I grew up with a dad who literally references Star Wars whenever he talks about spirituality. Like he talks about the Force and mitochondrial connection. I mean, I grew up with the most Star Wars family. Oh my goodness, dude. Like, let me just tell you. And then Indiana Jones, my nephew is named after Indiana Jones. So I don't know who you all are, but apparently you know my family.
We're connected. We're all one with the Force. Okay. Okay. Bonus question before we let you go.
Okay. Go ahead.
If you know, speaking of the pop culture world, so we're talking Marvel, DC, Star Wars. What would be like the dream role? Would you love to do like a superhero thing? Would you love to do like a Jedi thing? Like, what would be a fun role for you to play?
I want to do post-apocalyptic warrior badass chick.
Okay.
There it is.
Jim, I'm gonna need you to get the petition started. We're all gonna fall in line and get you that role. Everybody, please give it up for my guest, Sarah. This has been so much fun. You are an absolute joy and delight. Welcome back anytime. Anytime you want to geek out or talk about roles or the process, we'd love to have you back anytime you'd like. I'll give you a second to say goodbye to the audience, and then we'll toss it to break.
Thank you so much, everybody, to Jim and Kaz and Jake and all the other wonderful people that were on there asking questions. I don't know all of your names because he didn't tell me. Otherwise, I would remember them. But it's been such a pleasure chatting, and thanks for being fans and for watching and supporting me. And I couldn't do it without all of you. So literally, that's how it works.
Awesome. Awesome. We're going to keep a close eye on your career. We're going to root for you. Guys, this has been Sarah Minnich. Go check her out, and we'll be back right after this short break. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
It's Friday night and I'm feeling low, and you're the reason that I do so. I'll keep on drinking till I comatose, or I pass out on the floor. You got me staring out the window, 8 hours late and you're a no-show. Where I'm from, that's called a no-go. I guess I should have known. I'm sleeping with one eye open, hoping you'll make it whole. You're always on my mind, but right here, right now, I'm better without you. That this was some time, but right now I know that I'm better on my Remember when we used to lay in bed and talk the night away? Today it feels like you have nothing left to say. I pack my bags and collect my things. Think what you want, but you can't have me. I'm keeping my heart under lock and key wherever I may roam. Sleeping with one eye open, hoping you'll make it whole. You're always on my mind, but right here, right now, I'm better without you. That this was some time, but right now I know that I'm better on my own. You and me are heading for a disaster, but I cannot ignore. I'm moving forward, you're moving backwards. I can't take anymore. So come on, you're always on my mind, but right here, right now, I'm better without you. You're always on my mind, but right here, right now, I'm better without you. That this was some time, but right now I know that I'm better on my
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. This is CQ. This is Pop Culture Warrior. How are you all doing? And Radar, welcome back. How are you, buddy?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
You enjoy your nap?
I my nap. Yeah, I was doing something.
I know you're there. What do you think? What'd you think of the thing?
I loved it. I love it. Here's what I really love about your interviewing process. Okay, is you really do a good job of researching the guests, right?
Oh.
And they're very much at ease talking to you.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So you do a really good job with that, and it's fun to watch. And she was so fun.
She was awesome.
She was so fun.
She was a lot of fun.
Kaz says she needs to come back August 10th to answer questions.
We're giving you 1 month. Come up with an answer. call in. I should totally do that. Reach out to her like, listen, I just want you to call in for like 5 minutes. Like just to call in and be like, here's the answer. Click.
Yep.
And just hang up.
Yep, just call it. She's got the Skype or nothing. Just call us in quick. She have to be on film or something. Just call us.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just let you know that
I did think about the answer.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, man.
Or
Sarah.
she's gonna be your new co-host. That's what she was.
Oh my God! Do you think?
Gonna be
do you think she would say yes if I if I offered her? Like, listen, I know we don't pay anything. I know you're a professional actress, but would you like to be a co-host of my nobody cares talk show? What an insult!
I just get an email from Ice, like, you know what? Tuesdays aren't your thing anymore.
I don't think it's working out, man. I don't think it's working out, Radar.
Right. But seriously, and this kind of like everyone that comes on has so much fun.
Yeah,
and you really do a good job with that, and that's a testament to you, buddy. Good job.
No blowing smoke up my ass.
I'm proud to be your bubble partner.
You're my wingman. You're my man in the bubble.
Sarah in a bubble.
Before I should just find like a way to change the radar to like Sarah Minnich. Like, wait, what? Sorry, that's.
It used to be an app or something. It was all over Facebook for a while. People would like
the face changing one.
Yeah, where people would like show up in like a music video or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They would like Lion King and stuff. Just do that with the bubble.
Yeah.
Have her face like over mine while we're doing.
Too easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. For real, Sarah was an absolute delight, a joy. Somebody who's been doing it for a little while now, and obviously, it's a delicate thing because to say like, oh no, she hasn't had her big break yet. Like, she's a professional actress. She's someone who works and supports herself by doing the art of acting. You're an actor, regardless. Okay, yeah, she's not Angelina Jolie or Helen Mirren or Susan Sarandon or whoever, but she's obviously someone who dedicates herself to her craft, who's hungry and wants it, and you can feel that. I don't know if anybody else could, but I could feel that, like, that hunger that she wants to do this and she wants to be like, what was it? You're the best around. Like, you got that playing in your head. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. Like, I just get that vibe of like she just wants to be the best, and I think, mark my words, whether it's 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, we're talking about like, oh my God, that huge actress Sarah Minnich. Remember when she did our rinky dink little show, and like, we're replaying this episode. Like, look, she really did come on the show. This is not special editing. She really did talk to us. She spoke to CQ that one time before she was super famous.
Well, I loved her attitude too. She's like, I can't change it.
Yeah.
There's a couple questions that was her answer. I can't change other people. Like,
yeah.
I love that answer from people. Like when they're like, I do me and you guys do you and whatever. So that's just a great attitude. I really enjoyed a lot of her answers and a lot of the way she was with things. And I really do appreciate her coming on. And I hope she had as much fun as we did with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And then she did kind of fall in line with your way of thinking about like, why reboot things that were good the first time?
Yup. And now, like, 100% I'm not saying don't mess with, make it your own, make it good.
All I could hear as she's talking is Radar's voice. Not sorry about it.
I'm not sorry about it. Make it good. Make it good, son.
Make it good. All right, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. Just real quick reminder, we didn't even touch on it. Friday.
Yes.
Black Widow is in theaters and or on demand if you want to watch at home. I get it. I'm going to the theater. I'm going to see it.
Have you seen any other big movies in the theater since Rona started?
Only one. Tenet was the only movie I saw in theaters, and when it released, I think I was one of like 3 people in the theater when I saw it. But I did. So that is the one thing, and that was to me, because being a guy that like I have in my calendar when I'm going to the movie theaters. Like I have dates in the calendar of like all the films.
Like
typically,
like iPhone notifications.
Seriously,
Like, yeah,
seriously, like those. That's I will do that. And I had my wallpaper for a while was the list of movies and their dates that were coming out. I had that. That was a real thing. So to say that in the last year and a half, the only film I saw in theaters was Tenet, and that was because like that was like the first thing that came out in theaters post Corona. I saw the last thing that was in theaters, which I think was like Sonic the Hedgehog, or what was that, the DreamWorks movie, the Onward, the Disney movie with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. Like that was the last thing because COVID shut all that down, and then Tenet was like really the first thing back in theaters. But yeah, that's it. That's all I've seen.
Do you think? Because and I was in Denver last weekend, right? And I've been in my little bubble here in South Dakota, where, like I said, we never really shut down that much with Rona. We did a little bit, like, the Deadwood closed for a couple weeks, and the movie theaters, all that closed, and a lot of, schools closed and all that stuff. But we haven't been hit as hard with Rona, right, as more populated areas have been. So we kind of lucked out on that. But going to Denver, and I'm fully vaccinated, and I had Rona both, right? So I'm pretty like, I feel like I'm pretty safe, right? And so is my wife and all of the things. So when you go down there, it's still, there's a lot of people wearing masks and stuff. So I don't know how it is where you're at.
Yeah.
Right. But there's still quite a bit of social distancing, quite a bit of,
there's still
but there
precautions.
are some people, there are some people who are starting to kind of come around and be more open to the idea of, say, going to the theater. Right. Do you think when this comes out on Friday, it's going to be bigger as a theatrical release or bigger on the Disney Plus streaming service?
So because people have to pay $30, you're saying, will it make more money on streaming, or will it make more money in theaters? That's the question.
Yes.
Because
let's go with that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, okay, no. But what I'm saying is, like, because that extra streaming service isn't just for that movie, right? It's like if you pay the extra.
Oh, it's just for that movie.
$30. It's just so you pay.
So you have, for those out there, you have a Disney. Like I have a Disney Plus subscription. I already pay for that.
As do I. Okay.
Black Widow hits. They call it the Premiere Pass. You pay like $30 to see that movie.
Okay.
That's it.
Because I didn't know, like, because they've done that with a couple.
But you own it though. That is the other positive is, like, you own the movie now. Like you bought it.
So it's like you bought the right to watch it whenever you want.
Correct.
So, but what I was saying is, I didn't know if that premium pass or whatever, because there's been a couple. Mulan came out that way. There's a couple other ones that came out on the premium pass thing, right? I didn't know if that was like an extra monthly subscription where you paid $30 a month, because it seems about once a month a new something's dropping. Right.
Well, now with everything, all that backed up stuff, finally, it's like a clog that's finally they finally broke the clog. It's all coming now.
So that's why I didn't know, like, if it was like just a regular extra $30 a month, or if it was just $30.
It's that purchase.
So with that, you can actually quantify people. I did pay for Black Widow. Correct.
Because and I think the way they're doing it is it's only going to be available the first 30 days.
Yes.
Then it goes away, and then eventually, 6 months, 8 months down the line, it'll be on Disney Plus for free. Technically, not for free, but for the regular subscribers, if they want. So yes, there will be. I guarantee you, it will be in the news media, a stat of how much did it make opening weekend on Disney Plus, and then how much did it make opening weekend in theaters.
Yes.
That is so hard.
I think Kaz just put it perfectly, that Americans are itching to be out. I think the theatrical release will be big. That said, $30 is a good price to stay the fuck at home.
Yeah. No, it's so true.
That's where I'm kind of at with it. And like I said, I don't necessarily have the desire. I haven't really been locked up. There are places in this country that have been like locked up for over a year.
Oh yeah.
And I can imagine those people are like, I've got my vaccine, dude. I've got all this. And I'm
going to the theater.
Yeah, and you
I'm
too.
going.
You are a big theater guy. You
Yeah.
want to go to the theater.
I want that experience.
Whereas to me, I'm kind of in that past mode where it's like I could go, I could not. It doesn't really matter to me a whole lot. I want to watch the show, and I don't know if I'm going to pay the 30, but this weekend, I'll be honest with you, I have to go to Minnesota for soccer tournament. So I may not even get a chance to watch it this weekend, which kind of
Shame.
I know.
Hey, people in the chats, Kaz, I see you guys. Captain Wayne, Jim, which by the way, God bless Jim. He says, "Can I make it clear I'm not a stalker of that lady?" Yes. We're busting balls. We appreciate you, man. That was fun. But guys in the chats, if you're gonna see Black Widow, are you planning on seeing it in the theaters, or are you planning on seeing it at home with Disney Plus Premiere Pass, whatever the fuck it's called? Because I am absolutely 100% certain I will see it in theaters.
Yes.
Given that, I may, if it's so good and I enjoyed myself so thoroughly, I will go see it again in theaters this weekend. I will see it twice in theaters. If it was pretty good, not necessarily good enough for me to leave and go out into theaters, I might buy it at home and watch it at home again. If it was so bad that I was just like, what a waste, which I seriously doubt that'll be the case, then I just won't watch it again, period. There are Marvel movies. As much as I'm a Marvel fanboy, there are Marvel movies I saw once in theaters. I was like, well, that was good enough, and I haven't watched it again.
Right.
There were. Let's see. Christopher says he's going to see it at home. All right, rock on, man. And that's where I get curious. Because, okay, if we're talking dollars to dollars, well, $30 to Disney Plus is more than, let's say, $11, $12, $15 it would cost you to go into theaters. But if you're taking, your wife, your kids to the theaters, that's $15 times whatever, 3, 4, 5, 6 people versus just paying $30 for everyone in your household to see it at home. So does that average out? Right? Does was the typical 2.5 family? Isn't that supposed to be the representative? So if it's at $15 for 2.5, that'd be what, $42, something like that would be a typical just tickets, right? We know everybody's buys popcorn and drinks and sodas and snacks. It's like $100, blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah, but typical, you figure $40, $45 on tickets. Versus now you can see it at home for $30. Like I said, I 100% plan on seeing it in theaters. If you want to know whether it's worth a watch or not, I will post on the Pop Culture Warrior page, whatever it is, Friday morning when I see it, whatever it is, that if it is a must see, if it's a must see in theaters, if it's a must see at home, or if it's wait for it to be free on Disney Plus. So that's what I will do. That's what I will do.
Well, that's kind of like, Chris in the chats was like, the last thing he saw was in the movie. It was eight years ago, and the last thing I saw in the theater was Fury. That's it. That's the last movie I saw in the theater. So it's been a minute since I've been to the movie theaters, and it just kind of it's not ingrained in me as it is with you, probably.
Right.
So it's just kind of, like I said, it's kind of take it.
It's
whatever.
a part. Yeah, it's a part. For some people, it's a part of the experience. It's part of it.
It is 100%.
The sticky floor.
But also too, I'm kind of looking at so they're when they do the box office numbers, all right?
Yeah.
And maybe they will just do a North America, United States, whatever. But when you've got releasing in China, and I don't know if there's Disney Plus in China. I don't know, or Korea, or all these other places where or the Premier Pass is going to be available in those places. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. But I think I really, me personally, Radar, like having the option.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't think that Disney is going to lose an awful lot of money by giving their people those options, because there are people. My father, for example, probably hasn't seen a movie in a theater since Star Wars came out, the first one.
And if he pays the $30
but my
to
dad
stream
would probably pay the $30 to watch it.
then that's a
in
win.
his house.
Then
Exactly.
they won that transaction.
Yep. Well, there are other people too who are kind of like me. Like, I actually am interested in seeing Black Widow. I think it's going to be a very good movie. At least, so. Like I said, I think it's going to be at least on par with Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so that's a movie that I would pay to go watch in the theater.
And personally, I will say, and this is just with no background knowledge, all we've ever talked about is how this is a movie that takes place in the past, right? Because current timeline, yes. Natasha's dead, whatever. So they say, I have a feeling.
She's dead.
Yeah, the spoiler alert, if you didn't see Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, I have a feeling this movie will set up so much of the future of the phase 4 of the MCU. Like, I feel little things I've heard, little nuggets here and there that that, we always talk about what does this thing tie, what does it lead to in the future, right? That's what we were talking about Disney Plus shows earlier today. I have it on good authority and good gut feeling. There's going to be major implications coming out of this movie where you're going to go oh, that's why this movie's important, because otherwise, you wouldn't understand this thing coming down the line. So we'll see. Jim brings up a good point. He says, I got my shot. I'm good to go. I would be more than happy to go out, but after the last year, it feels wrong. You know what I mean? It's almost we've been conditioned to stay in, and now going out feels wrong. I think that's a excellent, valid point.
Now, but I'll throw the other, because I did feel kind of awkward in Colorado, there was places where people were constantly wearing a mask. We went to Castle Rock. I don't know, people who've been to Carson and been between Denver, Carson, where Castle Rock is. And we were there, and they have the giant outlets and shit, and all this thing going around. And I'm kind of in that mode. Like I said, I had the Rona in February, March, and May maybe, and I have both doses of the vaccine. So does my wife. And it was a while ago. We're completely vaccinated. We got all the things. Unless I'm at the fucking doctor's office, am not wearing a mask. That's me. If I walk into a place and they say you have to wear a mask, bye, see ya. I'll go buy whatever I was going to buy here somewhere fucking else. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm on the other side of it. Me, I kind of did. I felt weird for a minute around those people. We went into it was an Adidas store. Right. And the guy was like, you have to wear a mask here. And I turned around and said, bye, see you. And he just kind of looked at me. He's like, well, we have masks. I'm like, I'm not wearing them, bye. I don't need Adidas shorts. I can buy Under Armour ones. Bye, see ya. Kind of, you know what I mean? If that's but I'm not going to tell people how to live their lives. I'm not going to tell people how to run their business. If that's their policy, that's fine.
Yeah, you respect it. You just move on.
Exactly. And so I did feel weird seeing, and I didn't really feel weird because I wasn't. I felt weird because they were. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. I'm on the other side of the spectrum, though. We're now allowed, where I'm at, we've gone out to the stores and you see people not wearing masks. And it's just been such a conditioned response that even I left one in the car. I was going with my wife and I reached in my glove box, I put on my mask. She goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Shit, I don't know." It was such muscle memory to keep doing it. Yep. And walking around, I was in a shopping thing, I kept looking around, feeling really weird. I'm missing my mask. I know I don't need it. I'm same as you. I'm vaccinated. Right. I never got sick, but it feels weird doing it. So I feel weird for this opposite reason that you feel weird, but within this two sides of the same coin is my point.
Yeah, no, so this is another interesting, and I'm sure somewhere someone at Disney is taking all of these different viewpoints and trying to figure out the best way to run their business. Because it wasn't as about a year ago today ish that they were sucking hind tit. We were talking about who's big enough to buy Disney. Remember that? You know what I mean? So I get where they're coming from, and they've got to recoup these things. They've got a lot of money. They've got a lot of overhead going right now. They need to make the money back.
Yeah, the parks are open now. The cruises are open now.
All the things are going, but they were hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a good point.
So now we're back to, I'm happy that the world's returning to normal at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And these people that were a year ago kind of on the edge of things, and it's not just Disney, it was the local restaurants, and it was basically everybody with Walmart, Amazon, and the gas station. You know what I mean?
Which by
So
the
now we're
I just saw Kaz's comment. We need a CQ flowchart of the relationships within the MCU. Listen, don't poke the bear. I'll do it. I will dedicate a whole episode of this show where we will break down. We'll follow like the Marvel family tree of characters, and we'll break down that whole shit. I'll do it. I don't care. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me with a good time. That sounds like fun to me. So
what we'll do is we'll get Sarah back on, and we'll be like, what character should you play? What character should we lobby for you for the next one?
All right, Kaz, keep it up. Kid, no balls.
But even Taskmaster's in this one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's
So
the
excited. I have theories. We'll see. We'll see if my theories are correct. We'll see. I'm pretty sure they're correct, but we'll see. All right. I think we've talked them to death. I think we've talked to, there's only like a handful of people left. So that's the goal.
Yeah, they're
that's the dream. Keep talking until nobody's left to listen. I hear you, Kaz. You know what? I tell you what, Kaz. Yes, I'm gonna do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go watch Black Widow, and I'll give it like a week, and then I'm gonna come up with like how does this movie tie into all the properties, right? Where are the relationships with these characters, because there's a handful of new characters, and how they tie in both past and present and future. And you can thanks Kaz for that. And he says, great show, CQ and Radar. So thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Always a pleasure to have you around. All right, Mr. Radar. I think it's time at that time. Oh man, I'm just done with words today. It's right, that time of the show.
Wording is hard.
Wording is so hard.
You don't have a degree in communications.
Wording be hard. Wording be so hard.
Wording be tough. Tough words.
Tough
All
words.
Right, so
do your thing.
All right, this is gonna be the DA31 version of this. Okay, tonight, Tuesday, you've been listening to CQ and Radar, and our special guest Sarah Minnich was here tonight to words suck. That's right. But Sarah, if you hear this, thank you very much for coming on.
Absolutely.
Okay. Tomorrow, Donza, day of no scheduled activities. Thursday, sergeants are off. They're off. They're on vacation. Let them be. Friday, kicking it with Kaz. Kaz and Owl. Or not Kaz and Owl. Owl's a bookie. What the fuck's Owl been anyway? Not here. We're not out with us. Bye. See ya. Anyway, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Donza day, leave days. Everyone's off work.
Everybody's vacationing.
It's on vacation. Let them have a good time. Don't be calling them with some bullshit. Oh, go to DUI again. Whatever. They'll take care when I get back. It comes back to us on Tuesday. Culture here with CQ and Radar.
Should we tease who we're expecting to be on next Tuesday? I do me.
First, I said Friday Night Freedom, right? Or is it Kicking It with Cause?
Did you say Kicking It with Cause? It's Friday Night Freedom.
Friday.
Yeah.
That's what I said, right?
I think you said Kicking It with Cause.
Fucking goddamn it.
Give the guy a break.
This is my first day.
He's been, yeah. I remember my first time, co-hosting a show. So next week, and I'm going to put a caveat on this one, because we are confirming. We have it in the plans. We've had it for a while. It's been scheduled for a while, but this actor is currently filming. He's going to take the night to be with us, but he admitted that he could very easily get called in to film something. So it's caveated, but who is expected to be here next Tuesday is the incomparable, the amazing, the legendary Keith David, actor. If you don't know who that is, I should have had a picture prep for this, but this guy. You've seen him in something. You've heard his voice in something. He has been in everything. From playing Goliath, the voice of Goliath in Gargoyles, all the way to Platoon, to There's Something About Mary, the TV show Enlisted. Yes, okay.
I just sent you a picture.
You can send me a picture. That's not sending me a picture is not helpful.
Yeah, well, it's ready. You can just put it on the fucking deal.
You think I just click a button and it just appears? Is that what you think? Is that what you think? I'll tell you what. Here, hold on.
Keith David is an amazing actor.
Incredible.
He's
incredible.
Incredible. Once you see his face, if fucking Kaz can get it up, you will know this man.
Did you just call me Kaz?
Dude, his words are hard.
Dude, you are struggling today.
Kaz could probably have the fucking picture up by now.
Wow. Okay. We doing that? We doing that now?
We're doing that.
All right, there you go. That's Keith David. Everybody,
I did the work. What else you want me to do?
Now I just pulled up on my own page because I can't.
I almost there's one, like the second picture in is like him is at like 22. I almost put it on there.
Well,
you're doing the whole. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a couple different looks, obviously, of him throughout his. Well, that's definitely not
amazing.
Him. There's him shirtless. There's him in the. He's also the president in Rick and Morty. He's the voice of the president in Rick and Morty, which just had an appearance the other day. He was in Enlisted. He's a ton of work. He was in Saints Row, the video game. So like, this is a guy who's prolific in movies, TV, video games, voiceover, cartoons. Like,
basically, all the shit we talk about is him.
Yeah, he's been in all of it.
We talk about Keith David every day.
Range 15, yes, Kaz, exactly. The dude's been in everything. He's excited to be on the show. I can't stress that enough. Like, for him to be like, yeah, I'm in the middle of shooting, but I will give you an hour while I'm in the middle of a project to talk to you. Like, he was one of the fast. Like, I reached out to his people. I'm like, hey man, would he do it? And they like bounce back like, yes, he'll do it. He's filming, but he wants to do it and he's gonna do it and blah blah blah. So we're confirming. So I said, caveat, it might not happen. If it doesn't, I'll tell you what, we'll play games.
If it doesn't, then maybe we'll actually get everyone's names right.
we're gonna do finesse. Everybody call in and teach me how to say your name, so that I can.
Because I'm the only one with issues with names, right? I'm the only one with name problems.
Yeah, words suck. But yeah, no. If he doesn't come in, that'll give us more time to talk about Black Widow. And maybe we'll play games. We haven't done playing with the games with the audience in a while, so we'll do some trivia games. We'll have some fun. That'll be a great time.
We'll get back to our roots and we'll just talk about.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Tiger King for an hour.
We'll talk about stuff that's getting postponed and canceled. Get back to our roots. How we started this whole shebang.
We'll talk about. Private Radar got promoted today.
Really? Is he?
He's PFC Radar now.
Okay, I was gonna say he's still technically Private Radar, but he's.
Well, I'm just saying he's no longer. He's making more money to be a private
first class radar. That's awesome, man. Congratulations, big congratulations, to Private First Class Radar. Good for you, buddy.
PFC Radar.
Don't have your spirit broken. But all right, guys, we've done it. We've reached the end of another phenomenal episode of Pop Culture Warrior with your host CQ and Radar. This was a lot of fun, and fuck, I suck at this. We'll see you next week.
You're good, dude, buddy.
We'll see you guys next week. Shout out to everybody.
See you.